We are now.
You're listening to the Real Fisherman Podcast. Be sure to like and follow on Facebook, and be sure to share it with a buddy.
All right. How's it going, guys?
It's going.
What's up, all my fishing peeps?
Hey.
Pete, I know last week you were talking about your setups for. I know you got in the first of all, you got in the U.S. Open this past weekend, which is pretty awesome. And you posted where that photographer took a picture of you. It didn't look like you were very far off the beach when that picture was taken. Were you like just right off the beach right there?
So I don't remember where the photo was taken, but I'm pretty sure it was right on that western cut there in Oak Island, which you're familiar with. Caswell Beach area. After you check out, you run down the beach there. You know that yellow tower that's in Caswell Beach?
Yes.
I'm going to say it's right about in that area.
Okay. Yeah. So right off the beach.
Correct.
Yeah. You weren't far from the breakers right there.
I'd say less than 100 yards. Yep.
Wow. It looked like it was pretty rough.
Yeah, it wasn't the smoothest of days, but it really wasn't that bad either because, the inlet was rough, the area was rough, but once you turn that corner, it flattened out pretty good.
Hey, Pete, do me a favor, guys. All right, I'm showing it live on my page. Pete, look on my page and see if you can see our show now, please.
I see live right now.
No, I'm talking about look on my page and see if it's showing it from my page.
I'm looking right now. Nope.
Well, here's what I've got.
Huh.
Let's see.
I'm not showing it.
I see it live on JR's.
I'm showing it live on mine. That's weird. I don't know.
Yep. Come on, StreamYard. Get your stuff together. We're doing everything you guys are saying, and it's not showing up.
Let's see.
So anyways, I know you were talking last week about the what line you use, what size mono. Well, actually, you didn't go into detail with what size mono, I don't think. And you were talking about wire, how you keep it as short as possible. And what size wire do you use? And have you ever thought about using cable? Because I've always used wire for kings, but I've also heard of guys using cable for kings with live bait because it helps that live bait have more action.
Yeah, so I've actually started to use in the last 4 years or so 7-strand for king fishing. So I guess that's the cable we speak of, but I use pretty light 7-strand. So I think it's 40 pound, maybe 42 pound, I think is what the box says, or the spool says. So that's what I use along with 20-pound mono.
So you're going very light.
20-pound mono is pretty standard, so I would not call that too light. I know guys.
20-pound mono for your main line.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's not light, but I thought you meant the leader before you put the,
20-pound main line.
So you go 20-pound main line straight to the cable.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. So how are you connecting the cable to the swivel? Are you crimping or are you doing like a figure 8 knot?
I use a figure 8 knot. Yes. So I have the small swivel on a figure 8 knot and about maybe an arm's length worth of wire and 2 treble hooks.
So about 3 foot of wire. You're saying wire, but it's 7-strand, right?
Yeah.
So that's technically it's cable, right?
And in all reality, I'd say that is considered short. And I'm gonna tell you that the short wire backfired on us 3 times this weekend.
Oh, really?
3 times. Oh yeah.
Wow.
We had 3 bite offs in 2 days of fishing. 4 actually, if you want to consider pre-fishing.
So you're probably using pretty small hooks, aren't you?
Size 4 trebles, so not too small.
Right. Yeah. The 4X.
Yep.
And but you're using trebles for your main hook and your stinger hook.
Yes, correct.
As well. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Some guys like to use a J hook for a nose hook followed by a treble. I like to use a double treble hook.
Yep. I always use the single hook and then the treble for the stinger, just because that's what I read on the internet somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. Any viewers online, by the way? I don't see anything at all. No comments. Any viewers? Anyone
I
on?
don't either.
Yeah, I have 6 viewers, but I mean, until we're able to see, actually, if you take your mouse and go up there to where that little eye is beside where it says live, and it'll drop down, it gives you a little drop down menu, and it shows my Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
Wes's Facebook, Real Fisherman live stream Facebook group, and my YouTube channel. And I have 7 people on my Facebook and 1 on my YouTube, 0 on yours, Wes, and 0 on the Real Fisherman live stream.
Now, when I click on it up there, it says I am live. It says Wesley Rose. I'm talking about the U.S. Open, and it says you are live.
Yeah.
Take your mouse over. Do you have a little eye beside where it says live?
No,
It shows how many people.
no.
Okay. Yep.
It
Live
just
viewers.
tells me I'm live over here.
Yep, you have 0.
We're getting comments. I see some guys commenting. Got Dale Barney, Chris, Benji, and TJ. So
Hey, what's up, Daryl?
So yeah.
So where are you guys watching this from? Just if you don't mind, comment where you're watching it from, whether it be the Real Fisherman group, my Facebook page, Wes's, or YouTube. So we can kind of get an idea of. It looks like the majority of people are watching from my Facebook. We have none from yours, Wes.
Dale Barney, yes, we do see you as Daryl.
Okay.
So anyways, yes, I use 2 treble hooks and spaced out about, give or take, we'll say 6 inches, maybe more, maybe less, give or take.
Now you're trolling. You're using your gas motor to troll, correct?
That's correct.
So do you ever do anything that's a little more unconventional, like drift or even like kite fish or something crazy like that?
I don't do kite fishing. You will drift a little bit when the wind picks up. You put the wind at your back and you basically cut the boat in and out of gear. That's really about the drifting that you do overall.
Do you change how many lines you're pulling? Well, you said you were drifting while you're trolling, right?
Correct. Yeah. Don't change anything. Nope. I troll up to 6 rods. I think generally speaking, I'll troll 5, but I'm not afraid to put 6 out.
Now, why don't you inform Wes on why you set a light drag, or do you set a light drag?
Light-ish, some folks light drag might be defined different than my light drag, but I don't have a poundage. I don't put a scale to it. We'll say about 6-8 pounds of drag, maybe, more, maybe less. But the kings have a soft mouth overall. And when they hit, you really, if you don't hook them in the mouth, you're probably snagging them more than anything else. A lot of times when they skyrocket in the bait, they will miss the hooks or they miss the bait, but a hook might catch them in the side or in the throat or in the gill or the tail a lot of times.
And that's where that striper stealth rod kind of comes in handy, ain't it? Or a rod that has some
little bend to it.
Some bend up there at the top.
Yep.
So to kind of let the keeping that hook tight without actually pulling
That's
it out of the
correct.
fish's mouth.
You will have a hard time hooking up fish with a broomstick rod kingfishing. I promise you that.
Yep.
But we had opportunities. We had 2 great days of pre-fishing. The first day, we did a lot of running and gunning. Didn't fish much at all. Day 2, which was Thursday, we caught 2 kings. We lost 2 kings. We had one bite off. We had a big fish bite off, which, the right day for that to happen, honestly. And, of course, we got a Spanish as well. And then the tournament day, of course, Friday, day 1 of the tournament, lines in the water at 7 a.m. Our plan was, so we had bait pinned up. And while you got 500 boats looking for baits, we went ahead and went to the fishing spot right off the bat with 2 dozen baits that we had pinned up. We had lines in the water by around, let's say, 7:10, 7:15 roughly. And within 10 minutes, we had a fish on. After a short battle, lost his ass and didn't get a strike for several hours after that.
Now, which were all your bait? Now, you did incorporate a downrigger in your spread, right?
Correct. Further out, yes. On the beach, no.
Okay. So when y'all hooked up, what'd you hook up on? I mean, was it just one of your?
It was
running
up
bait?
top. It was the line. So we have a way back, we have a prop wash, and we have 2 on the outside. And it was one on the outside that I keep kind of short near the prop wash.
Okay.
And that one there was no indication of a strike. We didn't see the blow. A lot of times king fishing, you see one sky on it or one explode behind the boat. And this one right here, we're talking, chatting, all of a sudden, zzz, most of it burned out of there, and you pick up the rod, turn the fish. Got 15 boats near us, so you got to turn on him right away, turn the fish, head towards the fish, and we'll say angler error was the reason why we lost the first fish. So
why is that? When you turned on the fish, you let
turn
slack
the
in the line?
fish, he decided to want to pump the rod instead of real slack. So he's pumping the fish like he's trying to, to fight him in. But in essence, we're turning towards the fish with the wind or back. You got to pick up that slack real quick.
Yeah, that's something that you have to be mindful of because, like you said, you're around a bunch of boats, so you kind of have to turn at hookup. And when that fish is running, you turn at hookup. If the fish changes direction, you change the way you fight the fish because it's not normal practice to just turn into the fish every time you go saltwater fishing, no matter what you're fishing for.
That's
you only
correct.
do that. You only do that in certain situations. So you have to, I guess, when you're getting mentally prepared. A couple weeks ago we talked about being mentally prepared to fish. That's something that you have to kind of pregame, go over in your mind. Hey, I have to be ready to get this slack up if that were to happen.
Yep, indeed. But that happened, and we fished for another hour and a half or so, and there's a few fish caught, but the bite wasn't hot, so we decided to pick up and go chase for something bigger. And that's where we decided to start spot hopping to different locations. And life was there, the fish were there, but man, the bite just was not hot. I mean, there's a few fish being picked around here and there, but last 2 days the bite was not on fire by no means.
Now mostly you're an artificial guy, and I know in this tournament you were using live bait, because it's the U.S. Open, and you feel like that's your best chance to win the tournament. So, with that said, do you ever target kings with artificials?
Never.
When it's not
Never.
the U.S. Open, you
Nope.
always use live bait or
Live bait or dead bait. Yep.
dead bait. So when you're using dead bait, do you use those? What do you call them? Macahoos?
Yes, Macahoos, and it's called a Hank Brown jig as well. It's just a jig head with a treble hook in the back. That works pretty good as well.
You said that thing gets them down a little bit in the water column.
It does, yeah.
Does it?
It's not just not the fact that it keeps it down the water column, but also keeps it running straight as well.
Keeps it running straight. Is there a certain color you prefer?
Pink, green, chartreuse, black and white, or not black and white, excuse me, blue and white as well.
Any reason to that, or is that just what you've had the best luck with?
It's just preference. Yeah. To answer your question, Dale Barney, I threw the net. I threw an 8-footer like a fucking boss, son. You can ask John.
Did y'all have any problems catching bait?
I'll tell you this, man. I'd say in the last 3 or 4 years, this whole weekend or this whole last 4 days was the easiest I have found bait in a very long time. And not only did we find bait, it was the biggest I've seen in a long time as well. Some of these baits were about 14 inches long.
Wow.
They're big.
Did you save any to bring home to use for catfish bait?
I did not. Nope. I only brought 2 back home with me, and they've been fed to the hound.
I've caught a lot of hybrids on Moss Lake with, thawed out menhaden. I caught from the beach. Works
I believe
good.
it.
I never tried it on Norman. I'm sure it would work anywhere that had hybrids.
Yeah. Sure, work on those pesky catfish as well, right?
I've never tried it for catfish. I'm sure it would. Speaking of catfish, there's the Big Money Showdown. No, the Southeast
Big Brawl.
Is it the Big Brawl? What is it called? Hang on a second.
The one that Keith Wood fixing the fish.
Fall brawl.
Fall Brawl.
No. It's called the Southeast Big Money Showdown. It's going to be on Lake Wylie. I think it's November the 17th and 18th. It's a 2-day tournament. And pays out good money. I can't remember how much, but it's a lot. And I'm going to be getting in it. Wes, Pete.
Are you? Oh, boy.
Well, you guys want to get in it? Not necessarily with me, but
I am working this weekend, so nope.
No, it's November, man. It's the 17th. It's
November.
Like
okay.
A long ways away. Yeah, you can plan for it.
We'll see. We'll see that.
Hey, JR.
Hey, whoever finishes up at the top the loser has to buy him a bottle of bourbon.
Oh, hell. Speaking my kind of
I'm
language.
sorry.
now.
I'm sorry, Wes. Go ahead, bud.
I was just gonna say, if I go to my page, I'm looking at it like on my phone. It's showing I'm live. I don't know. And you trying to share it like you try to share it to my page just like you do to the YouTube channel or New School or whatever. I don't understand why it won't go to Facebook. I'm showing it live on my page.
I don't either, but it's not showing up live.
Uh-uh.
When I look at your page, it's not. And when I look at the viewership up here, you have 0 beside Wes Rose's profile.
You see, look right there.
Click on it and see if is there any. Can you tell if anyone's watching?
No, but I can see us though. Like, see, I can see us now.
Yeah, me and Pete, either one can see your live stream from your page. I don't know.
Maybe I have to click on it live. Look on it. Look, check again, right quick.
Okay.
We've got the viewers here, so I'm assuming that everyone sees it.
Nope.
Not from my page.
Still can't see it, Wes. So you go to Wes's page. See?
That is so weird.
That's not on there.
All
All right,
right.
there's John. Hey, John, welcome to the show, bud.
What up?
Yeah, Pete was on point with the nut.
I heard that you. I
Just so
heard
y'all
you weren't
know,
on
as a-
point with the
as a
rod. I heard you
unofficial-
was pumping when you should have been reeling.
It was not John. No, John was not the rod man. It was someone else on the boat.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
yeah, no.
I'm sorry, John.
Just so everyone knows here, even though I troll artificial, I can damn sure throw a dang heavy ass cast net too. So don't be fooled, y'all. Don't be fucking fooled.
Hey,
How does it work when a
wow.
4-foot man throws an 8-foot net?
Like a boss. Like a boss. Don't you worry. These
You realize
guns,
that
son,
that's like saying I can cast a fishing rod. I mean, what's the big deal, man? These guys that throw pancakes, they throw a pretty net and everything. If you're not catching bait, it doesn't matter how pretty a net you throw. And you know the U.S. Open catching pogies off the beach. I mean, I'm not saying that's easy, but it ain't something I'd be bragging about. Go catch some bait on Lake Wylie.
I ain't scared. I can do that too if I want to. Remember,
Daryl's always saying, if somebody does something good, he's always saying, well, go do it on this raggedy ass lake. Go do it on that
hang on.
I know, right?
There was a boat that
I was about to say, tell the story. There's two boats. Go tell the story.
there was a boat that was there. I guess we went and got bait 2 or 3 times.
Let's backtrack real quick. So we started that morning with bait we had in the pen. So we went at 10 a.m. to get our first load of bait that morning, and go ahead and continue on, John.
We went at 10 a.m. We rolled up. I mean, it's busting all around. There's 6 boats. A few boats were catching here and there. Pete threw, I think, 2 times, maybe the second time, loaded up. All right. This other boat, we watched them sit there and struggle. I don't know, 15 minutes. Pete's sitting there tossing over bait. I mean, like these guys probably would have paid $10 pop to have, the bait Pete's throwing out. So we load up, go out and go fishing, come back. What was it? 1:30?
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. The same boat was still there
Oh my God.
throwing a cast net. And I swear every time they pulled it up, it was a dud.
Same two
Dud.
boats.
I mean, the bait's literally just popping all around.
Well, ain't that when you kind of like, even though you're in a tournament, you kind of like show some, like you've got some fucking couth and say, hey
Yeah,
guys, here's
some
bait.
sportsmanship.
Yeah, here's you some bait. I know.
Well, that's the problem right there, because you got
wait a minute, let me
rules.
finish,
You got to
because-
read the
let me
fucking
finish
rule
now,
that says no bait to be shared between boats.
Let me finish.
Really?
You can't share bait?
Nope.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Can't touch
Wow.
another boat. Like objects can't transfer. Boats.
So if it weren't a tournament, you guys would have definitely gave them some bait.
Yes, if it wasn't tournament.
The second time for sure. First time I'm gonna let them learn a little bit, but yeah, you're sitting there 3-4 hours later. I mean, I'm not kidding you. The bait was literally popping all around
Well,
their
could
boat.
you have said?
Wow.
Could you have said, "Hey, you dumb motherfucker, come over here, throw the net right here"?
Well,
Here's
why
your
weren't they
bait."
catching bait? They
I
just
did.
weren't.
I did say a little something smart ass before he left on one of those occasions, but I don't think
Were they not opening their net? Why weren't they able to catch any?
I mean, the net was
Walmart
opening.
nets. Walmart nets. That's why.
Yep.
Oh, they were
The
using
net
those
was
plastic.
opening, but it was closing, I think.
If you
Before
buy
the
a net, make
bottom
sure you
point.
buy a lead weight net. 1.5 pounds per foot, whatever. Don't buy the eco-friendly plastic coated steel weights on your net from Walmart. That's not the way to go.
Yeah. To answer Daryl's question here real quick, it was 43 and some change that won it, which is generally, we'll say on the lighter end usually. I mean, we'll say it's pretty close to average, but I would have thought 44, 46 would have won it somewhere
Was
thereabouts.
that one fish?
One fish.
So it just paid the biggest fish total for 2 days?
Yep.
That's easy to keep up with.
Yep.
So, you guys hooked up to that one. Where were you when you hooked up to that one?
The first fish we caught, the first couple bites we had, and the first fish we caught was a Yopon reef.
Okay. So, were you? Did you have the downrigger going at that time?
No, not there. I'm not a believer in downrigger there at Yopon Reef. Main reason why is because there's a lot of sharks and a lot of red drum out there as well.
Okay. So, when you did you use the downrigger during the tournament on this
yeah.
one?
Yep.
How deep did you set it?
About 20, 25.
25.
I wish I would have had 2 downriggers, but I know why John's laughing here. Yeah.
It was a calamity of errors Saturday.
Saturday.
Did he foul the rigger?
No, one of the passengers in the boat left a downrigger ball where it was not supposed to, and it rolled off the back of the boat.
Oh my goodness. What size ball, real quick? 8 pound, 10
I
pound?
want to say 10, I think.
Wow. So what are some things that you guys would have done differently other than when you turned into the fish pump, the guy pumping instead of getting the slack in? Other than that, what else would you have changed?
So the one that was lost pumping, that wouldn't have made a huge difference at all as far as, size, none of that. It was a teenage fish. I think the one thing that I would have done different was probably head to the beach a little sooner or spent a little more time on the beach versus offshore. Especially on the last day, for sure.
Well, I mean, that's where the bait was.
Exactly where the bait was.
That's what always confused me during this tournament is the bait's always on the beach, and everyone fishes away from where all the big bait is.
Well, that's the thing. Even though the bait's there, the fish ain't there. The watercolor's not right. And the first day, the watercolor was not right. But the second day, it was on point. It got on point in the afternoon. And we came back there last hour and a half, give or take. And I'm going to say that we had a cutoff there. Remember, John, we brought in that line. It was cut off, all frayed up. I'm pretty sure that was a good fish, probably. Talking to all the boats that were there, good friends of mine as well, within eyesight of where we fished at, they all caught 25, 30-pound fish in the last hour in that same area. So there was a bite in the afternoon right there where I expected, but we didn't come soon enough. But we had a bait.
Who won the tournament, and did they happen to tell anyone where they caught their fish?
I am not sure where the winning fish was caught. Don't know the boat. I do know the local to Oak Island. That's about it. I do know the second place fish caught by Blue Bayou was caught at Topsail Inlet.
I thought Jamaican Me Crazy was in second.
No, Blue Bayou.
Jamaican Me Crazy. Remember that?
And they had a pretty good. I think they caught a 40 and a couple of 30s on day 2 at Topsail Inlet. So there's a pretty good bite up there on day 2.
Do you know anybody that fished south down there by my way?
I believe all the boats that fished down south struck out as far as big fish. But there were big fish caught everywhere, literally. I mean, if your number was caught, you caught a big fish. There were big fish caught at Yopon Reef, Mackerel Reef, the beach all over. Offshore. I mean, where we were at on day 2, there's a lot of big fish caught both days, just not us.
Daryl Barney, what amberjack you talking about? One Todd caught on my boat or one he's caught since he's been down at Orange Beach? Todd's in Alabama right now. And I'm going to be in New York in 2 weeks, fellas.
Oh, boy.
What you drinking on, John?
Nothing right now.
Oh.
Not yet.
Drinking on, Pete?
Rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke.
Yep.
John, how's the babies?
I got one that has strep throat, and another one I had to put to sleep. But
Well, that means you're getting strep throat soon.
I hope not.
Let's
I
hope
don't get
not.
close enough.
Oh,
No,
well,
I got some footage. I was trying to pull it up.
Yeah, John took some pretty awesome GoPro video, so I'm sure there'll be something at some point overall.
Yeah, I was trying
send
to
it
get
to me, John. I'll edit it for you.
Yeah, I can send you the files. I mean, I have it pretty much have it narrowed down. I was basically doing it day by day. The only shitty thing is Saturday was a dud, so there's not a whole lot going on
I
there.
think Keith Wood's being a smart ass, Pete. He asked you how big your king was.
15 and a half. Keith Wood said, "Oh, we got one mid-20s, but it weighed in like 15.7." So come on. Come on, Keith. Come on. So it's over 20 pounds. I was like 15.7 or 15.9, whatever it was.
A 15 king does look big.
It can, yeah. So pre-fishing, John, on the second day when we had that king, what do you think that one weighed roughly? I'd say 17, 18, give or take. It was a pretty decent fish.
Yeah, the big one. After looking at the pictures of it compared to the other one, it was definitely girthier. I mean,
It had a very
I don't
good.
think it was over 20, but it's
It was
definitely
not,
close
no,
to it.
yeah.
I mean, you could hold the fish up pretty easily. And, but yeah, that was definitely an awesome experience. I've never gone out and targeted kings, so that was definitely different.
I wish you were out there for an actual good king bite, man, because I'm telling you, there's just like no other, man. You're out there and you got reels going off nonstop, fish skying everywhere. You got to see them blow up behind the boat, so at least you saw that part a time or two, I think. But yeah.
Keith Wood wants to know, what was your biggest king? There,
We already talked about it. You were gone.
Oh, okay.
Ryan said, was Yopon not a parking lot out there?
It was. It absolutely was. And we try to stay away from Yopon the best we could.
That's probably where you were talking about when you hooked up to the fish and turned, because it was like 15 boats around.
That's more like 25, 30 boats. Yeah.
Do you ever think about incorporating like a planer, using some small planers with your live bait in a king tournament?
Slow for it.
Well, you can control a planer.
Yeah,
down to about
I do know
3
people
miles an hour.
that use planer boards or
planer boards. I got you. I thought you meant like
no, not a planer board. It's a inline planer.
Why would you do that if you got 2 downriggers already?
Just to cover more of the column. You can set your downrigger down to about 25, 30, and you can run a planer. And get down to about however number 3 or 4.
Have you ever seen Pete on a downrigger?
No.
Fish is marked at 18. Pete's pulling it to 16 before as soon as it's right there.
So you are moving if you're marking bait at 16, are you bringing your planer up to 6? I mean, your downrigger up to 16.
If I see something good, you better get the hell out of the way. Yes, because I'm jumping back there and bringing it up or down.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, one time there was a moment on day 2 where it was like a striper spaghetti for a moment. We were trolling, and I went ahead and brought it up to the top of it. And I mean, as soon as I did that, boom, we got hit. And guess what? We missed that damn fish.
Yeah, and it was like stacked spaghetti. It was not,
that was a striper
like
tournament.
The wavies, but on top.
How do y'all know when you're pulling a planer board, an inline planer, say 3-inch, 4-inch, of course the 4-inch goes deeper, 3 inches goes less, blah, blah, blah. You start at 2, go all the way down to 4 or 5, whatever. How do you know how deep those things are actually running? Does it depend on, of course, I know it depends on how fast you're going versus how much line you got out. Do you know how to calculate all that stuff, or you just kind of guess?
I don't really troll for Spanish with planers much at all, but
for me, with a planer for anything.
For me, though, normally if I drag bottom, then I know, hey, don't go 12 foot deep. Seriously.
Well, if you're at 160 foot of water,
right? Yeah,
planer,
I think you can mark it.
How deep they're running is what. Do you like kind of figure? Hey, I'm using a 3-inch planer and I'm running 60 or 80, 100 yards of line out there, but I'm running 8 miles an hour. Do you try to calculate all this shit to
I don't. You know,
Right.
the whole purpose of the planer is to drop it down away from all the rods down there. So I just drop it down there and kind of forget about it, honestly.
It's 10 foot per size.
Okay.
The number 1 runs 10 feet. I use number 4s. Well,
So is that what? Is that at 100
40
yards of
feet.
line out running 8 miles an hour, or 50 yards of line out running 10 miles an hour? I mean, don't all that change depending on how much line you got out versus how
Well, the
fast you're
planer's
going?
gonna dig the same. I'm pretty sure it stays at the same depth. I don't
Once
think
it
it's like
reaches it, like
I don't
you
think
probably have to be going
it's
so
like a
fast.
downrigger. I mean, I'm sure the faster you go, the closer to the top of the water it is.
Daryl Barney done figured me out. Shh, Daryl. Shh.
Ryan, I sent you an invite. Come on the show if you have
Come on, Ryan.
questions.
Come on, Ryan. To quickly answer Spivey's question, yes, the pin did come in handy. We didn't intentionally pin a bunch of bait to use every day, but the strategy was to throw some bait in the live well in the morning and go fish for the first hour and a half while everyone is fighting over the same bait. Hopefully catch a fish or two, right then and there. And then afterwards, go to catch bait, which worked pretty good. Worked very good, actually, on day one, especially.
Hey, John, sorry, I sent the wrong John Longest the link earlier. That's not the first time I've done that either. I don't know who that guy is, but yeah.
Is he on Pornhub?
Let me share this video. I'm gonna share Pete. Pete, can I share your Castnet video?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Let's see what it looks like. Hang on.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Well, this one's unedited, so I don't know what it's gonna say, but here we go.
This is the Real Fisherman Show, bud. Hang on, I got you. Well, I don't know what happened there. Oh, John fast forwarded it. He didn't want to show his bad throws.
Hang on.
We want to see the pancake.
There you go. Yeah, he's throwing he throws it about like
I mean,
Ryan
look
Spivey
at
throws.
Can you see the bait out here popping?
Yes, I see it ringing everywhere. Yeah.
So that's what that boat was around.
Yeah, and I mean
it was
Pete's
practically jumping in their boat.
Pete's obviously throwing a very heavy net, and they were, like you said, they must have been throwing a very light, one of those eco-friendly nets. Pete with his Grundens, hair all wet looking like a real fisherman out there. Look at all those pogies. Wow. That's awesome, man. Now, who's that guy, Pete? Is Pete muted?
T-Money.
Which one? Oh, that's Trevor.
Oh, that's Trevor. Okay.
T-Money. T-Money, that's right. We'll call him T-Money.
Yep. I know Trevor.
Now, what's that thing you're putting them in, Pete? A pin?
That is a transfer pin. So instead of throwing them on the floor of the boat, you drop them in there, scoop out what you want, and dump the rest without.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That was a very clear image. What GoPro was that you were using, John?
I think that one's on I have a 9 and 11.
9 and 11.
I'm pretty sure it's the 9. The 11 overheats and it pisses me off. So.
Daryl Barney said, "New respect, Pete. New respect."
And Barney, just so you know, that is don't quote me on it. I want to say 1.7 pounds per square foot, something like that, maybe for the net.
What brand?
1.6.
I'm thinking Ryan's asking what brand net?
It's a Betts.
Betts. What is it? Super.
Yeah, Super Pro. It's it was a 10-footer, I think it is.
Keith Wood said that net didn't look very heavy.
Yeah.
That was
Keith, now, I'll tell you this. Keith throws a 12-footer. I mean, he would throw a bigger net for sure, but there's only a very few times where, in my opinion, the bigger net is needed, and normally this time of year it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Keith's son can throw the shit out of a net.
Oh yeah, absolutely, sure can. He was taught well, not by me, by Keith, of course.
I got another one. This is a missed opportunity. This was when the boat was doing circle, or when the fish was doing a circle. Let's see.
We had a radio shout out. We had a dang fish on. People screaming on the radio, Bolo hooked up. Would you left or right? So the pressure was on, and Trevor cracked under pressure. There we go.
How did the fish wind up in the front of the boat?
That's where you want to fight the fish, in front of the boat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're all out of water?
So you've hooked up, you've turned the boat, and he's walked up to the bow to fight the fish.
That's correct.
All right, easy. Right here in front. All right.
Why do you want to fight him on the front of the boat?
Because you have better control in the front. You can go forward, backwards, spin around. You can't do that shit in the back.
He's right in front of the boat.
We better not kingfish in my boat then.
And I guess you could chase the fish
Get in,
down.
T-Money.
T-Money!
Radio fucking.
Radio shout out.
Yeah.
Easy.
Gonna give you a choke here in a second.
Is that a torium?
It is. 30.
Oh! Fucking A, Trevor. Oh.
Hey, it happens. I don't really see anything he was doing wrong there.
No, that was just a plain old fish come off situation there.
Yep.
Nothing happened. Nothing you could do about that one. It's still Trevor's fault though. All right. Damn it, T-Money.
Yeah. Good
Damn
job,
it.
Trevor.
No.
Tough luck.
And JR, those are
We give
actually
him hell anyways.
720p videos because they're streaming from
Right.
cloud.
Yeah.
They're when you see them in 5K, man, they're crazy.
Oh, you filmed in 5K? Wow. That's a big file.
Yeah. So I use a 256 gig memory stick, and it fills up really quick.
Yeah.
About 6 hours.
I think
4
Pete's
hours.
got a buzz. He's laughing at me saying a big
No,
file.
I'm laughing at Keith over here. He said, "Happy birthday, JB." Only John will understand what that's about.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday, JB.
Happy birthday, JB. Hey, JB, happy birthday. It was the, how everyone talks shit on the radio. Well, that was the nonstop going on.
Ivy said he can't come on. Finn's asleep. Go out to your boat like a man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Please put a
Here's,
shirt on, though.
here is a landed fish.
Go out to your boat and fix your hair the whole time and
John, you ought to caught more fish if you'd have helped him and quit doing all them videos.
No, he did fine. He did absolutely.
Oh man, hey, lay off the video guy, okay? Listen,
Hey,
our
everybody
job's
gotta talk
tough.
shit about it. It's always video guys'
Our
fault.
job is tough, man. We have to
Hey,
be
once
a
all
mate.
the rods were cleaned up and the boat under control, that's when the cameras came out. So
We have to be a mate. We have responsibilities, but we also have to make a video for you
JR, I'll
guys.
tell you what, you're a hell of a video guy.
Thank you.
Those were really good too, by the way. If you've never had
Is
king
that an
ball,
Airbnb house or an Airbnb mobile home?
house.
house. House.
You guys got an Airbnb and everything?
So that's an Airbnb, but yet that house is owned by a friend of mine. So it's Airbnb, but at a discounted rate. How's that?
Be right back. I'm going to get 2 beers.
Okay.
Yeah. So Spivey asked a question. Do you ever think that it ain't working? We got to go. Yes, very often. But at the same time,
What's that
you
noise?
don't want to leave when you know the fish are there. Sort of, I guess. So yes, we did move around a lot, but on day 2, we hit one spot and we stayed there for like 4 hours, 5 hours actually, and there's fish caught all around us. Not consistently, but one here and there to where we want to stick it out, and that's where the big fish bite was the day before.
Hey, JR.
He said that he would be thinking. He said he would. Spivey said, "Listen, there's 30 other boats beside us. We got to be doing something different." I think what is he saying there? Is he saying that he doesn't want to be doing what everyone else is doing because he doesn't think that'll win the tournament?
How do
I
you
don't
know what
understand.
everybody else is doing?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Well, I guess he's saying that there's 30 of them around you, and so he could see what they're doing.
Yeah, but how do you know how they're fishing, what they're fishing with?
So, Spivey, I'll tell you this. I found on pre-fishing and the day won the tournament, there was a little zone around Yopon Reef where they were biting at. And so that's where we were focused our attention there, trolling the area. And that was kind of sort of away from the entire fleet. So it's not like we're in the middle of the pack. We're kind of on the outskirts.
Now, wait a minute, Pete. You just said there was like 25 boats right there beside of you.
Correct. Yeah, they're all within, within view. Pretty close.
So you're contradicting yourself. You're saying that you were doing something different. In reality, everyone was right around you.
They're around us, but they're not on top of us. I mean, we could easily make a turn or troll around, within sight. But yeah, there's a little zone that they seem to bite pretty good the day before and day one, and that's where we kind of spent a lot of our time. The little bit we stayed there, that's where we spent some time. And yes, we got bites.
Scott Perry said you was standing on that leaning post running hard.
Gotta lie, yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I don't care if it's rough. If you go on a fishing boat, if you're fishing with Pete, he'll knock your fucking teeth out. When he runs,
I can attest to that. Wes and I went with Pete out to do some bottom fishing out past Frying Pan Tower, and we done about 40 miles an hour in, I don't know, 2 to 3 foot seas stacked.
My fucking
false teeth was
shattered.
It was rough.
Fucking ditcher, my damn ditcher.
Yeah, he was not letting off either, buddy. He had his feet shoulder length apart.
I feel like I ran pretty good there with Jones. A couple of times I opened it wide open.
He was on a swivel.
But I didn't really run it too hard in the last couple of days, really. I could have ran it a hell of a lot harder in the inlet there, blasting off and such, but I chose not to.
Let's see. Daryl said, Peter Malik, tournament fishing for kings or tournament fishing for striper? Which do you move more?
Man, that is a good question. I want to say for striper fishing, it depends on what lake, maybe, I guess. But I would say probably king fishing because there's certain areas where they may fire off, like for the afternoon bite, X location, but the moves for king fishing might be an 8-mile run, so even though it's where we pick up a move, it's not going to be a close move, we might jump to one spot 8 miles away, jump to the next spot that might be 6 miles away. So yeah,
I got a question for you, which Scott put it up there, but I was going to ask it. If y'all wasn't doing that good and the bite was that bad, did you think about maybe trying to pull some dead bait or take some cigar minnows and say, hey, if it's not working? Because I've seen striper fishing where they would hit cut bait and couldn't catch nothing on a live bait, where they just wanted dead bait. Could that be possible with kingfish, or did you think about maybe carrying some Mackerel rigs with you, saying, hey, if the live bait don't work, at least put a dead bait out there just to try something different?
Those that know king fishing know that the beach fish, the big ones, they don't bite dead bait. They don't. You got to have live bait.
Yeah.
Dead bait, you're wasting time. You might catch, 12, 13-pound fish or smaller.
I think it's weird how you're so diehard on live bait. That's weird because you're such a diehard artificial guy. Or it's two different majority fish of everything else.
But I mean, so the fish bite different. If they're in shallower water, they won't hit a cigar minnow, but they'll hit it if you're 10 miles offshore.
Let me ask you this. You're new to the saltwater game. Do you catch cigar minnows on the beach?
I don't catch bait, period. I buy my shit. I don't know.
Do you ever see cigar minnows on the beach? Do you ever see sardines on the beach within 2-3 miles?
I think we know where Pete's going with this. Hey, Pete, Brian said, do you ever pre-fish on the other side of the shoals?
Ryan, I would say that is one of the regrets I had pre-fishing is not hitting one of the spots on the other side because I know there's fish there, but did not get to go there because it was too rough to cross the shoals. And talking to a few folks, there was a very hot bite there Saturday.
And Keith Wood wants to know, anyone looking for a number? I think I found one for the Open. What's he talking about?
I have no idea. Oh, I got it. Yeah, that was our mishap in the morning. Didn't have a.
Gary said he's caught them on the beach, cigar minnows on the beach all the time, Pete.
Yeah, because he's in fucking Daytona Beach. That's why.
Destin,
excuse me. Same shit. No, it's not the same shit, but still.
One of the craziest things was the blast off. Like I've never usually it's just lines in the water. I've never even done a bass tournament where, everyone is going all
Yeah,
hoop and
that can get
hollering.
rough. A blast off, and that's one reason why they stopped doing them is because they can be so dangerous.
So let me play this quick footage. This is, and to give you some insight. So everyone kind of lines up. I think they have a few different check-in spots, right, Pete?
Yeah, every inlet has a couple or has
But
one.
that was the one we were at was definitely the biggest one.
Yep.
I'd say there's what, 250 boats, 300 boats,
At least, yeah, I'd say 250 easily.
and so everyone kind of gets in line, and Pete kind of had a method of getting us close to the front, and here's a video of us taking off, and I think it's about a minute long.
Pete's got a 350 on his boat, by the way. I think it's a 350.
300.
300.
About
Okay.
a 300 on a 22-foot boat. That's a bit should run about 80 mile an hour.
God, look at all those center consoles.
So this is what we had turned around, facing the other way. They're out to our right. Or the way the video is facing the right side of the camera. Here's like another 200 boats. Boat crash happened.
Right about here. Here's when the crash actually happened.
What crashed?
Right about this moment is where the crash happened, kind of ahead of us.
You get it on video?
Someone did.
Who's that, Pete?
Trevor. Oh, that's another one, Big John.
Okay.
You go by that dock here back here. Look at all
How far off the beach are y'all, Pete?
You can see the beach right there.
Yeah, I'm saying how far though? How deep the water?
12 foot.
I mean, look at the boats. It's just crazy.
That's a lot of boats.
Yep.
Looks like y'all was ahead of everybody.
I think we were like one of the first.
I'm going to say
15
we're
or-
within like 25 boats, first 25 that I
What
left.
is that on your swim platform back there, Pete? It's a storage container?
Cooler.
Cooler,
Let's
okay.
say a bait cooler for offshore runs.
Yeah. It was definitely interesting.
Made a strategic push out of there, and it worked out pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Someone ripped a T-top off, right?
That's what we heard, yeah.
How do you rip a T-top off?
We hit the dock. What people don't see in the video was the wind was pushing all the boats one direction, and the current was going the opposite direction too. So it was kind of like, it was an uncontrolled situation there as far as all the boats drifting all around.
I'm assuming the boat wreck.
Those blast offs, all those boats are trying to get your just crazy, insane shit for 3 fucking minutes. Wait 3 fucking minutes, let all that shit go, and then you got open water. I don't get it for 3 or 4 minutes. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to Daryl's question here. He asked a little while ago. How do you pre-fish an area for kings and expect them to stay there? It's kind of like, so on day 1 and day 2, we found the bite later on at the end of day 1, and we caught 1 fish there. On day 2, that bite actually moved about 2 miles. And so it took a little while to figure it out, but we got there and we had bang, bang, 2 bites within, 20 minutes? And so we started, we were on them, and all of a sudden that's when that wind picked up from 5 knots to 25 knots, and that crushed that. I mean, that pissed me off, pissed all of us off, because it was a bite firing off there. A lot of guys were catching fish. You saw boats all hooked up around us, and then just the wind came, and that was the end of that. So you don't know. You kind of
why didn't you fish? And there again, I'm still learning about saltwater, but you got all that bait. Why not fish? Why did you go that far out away from bait? Why didn't you fish around where all the bait was?
You go where the damn fish are biting at. That's the thing.
West, I asked that question earlier.
There's plenty of 30 and 40 pound fish that are caught where we're fishing at for 2 days.
But so there's not none around miles and miles of bait swimming around everywhere.
The watercolor. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Watercolor was off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's big fish caught in every spot practically, but the better concentration was about 8 miles from the beach. And there's bait. There's also bait out there too, but it just was not wide open. How do I know 2 miles? It's give or take 2 miles, 2.5 miles. So some of these spots got names on them, Daryl. The spot that the bite was at in Spivey, you may know this. The big fish bite was actually on the Wolfs, which was at the river. And that's where, on day one, a lot of big fish were caught. There's a pretty decent bite happening. And on day two, it kind of pushed out to the old sea buoy, which is about 2.5 miles from the Wolfs. So, you got these little named areas that are on the chart there. And that's how you can tell.
And Rick, what Ryan said the watercolor's off, but the bait's there. So they choose watercolor over food.
I choose watercolor. Yes.
No, he's saying that the fish do.
The fish, if the water is muddy and nasty and silty, them kings won't be in there. They won't.
Was it that bad?
It was not that bad, but it was not that good.
Could it be that they're there, but the chances of them finding your bait are much less, so the bite's not as good?
That was my thought on it. Similar to striper fishing. If you're in dirty water, you pretty much have to hit the fish on the head.
Hey, that might be where some artificials might come into play. Break out that chartreuse, baby.
Go out there and throw some artificial in the ocean. Tell me how you
Man,
do.
you don't know.
Hey, those guys
are doing what everybody else is doing.
They caught a big fish, right? Didn't they?
Be unconventional. God, stop trying to win everything. How about just trying something different? Fuck it. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun, guys. This is supposed to be fun.
It is, but when you drop $2,000 for entry fee, you're not doing some dang stupid shit that you never tried before. Just, be clear about that.
I mean, I understand the whole don't bring a unproven weapon into battle. I get that. But still.
I mean,
try be unconventional.
Let me show you you can.
There again, why he's pulling that up. Me personally, if I was there, if I don't do tournaments, but a couple of Mackerel rigs out there, I'm fishing for hours and not getting a bite on live bait. I'd have thrown some dead bait out there on a Mackerel rig while I was pulling the live bait.
I have to agree, Wes.
But that's, I don't know.
I'm not saying that you should just, go out there and just, willy-nilly it, but some of the best dead bait rigs, something that you've had the most success on, maybe try that.
So look at the watercolor here. This was actually a fish was on and Pete was taking the rod to the front. Look at the watercolor here compared to here.
Oh yeah, that's like coffee.
Or when he's throwing bait, like look at the watercolor where the bait's at.
So the bait don't care about watercolor or whatever.
Well, the bait is there because of the watercolor. Let's get into the microorganisms.
Microorgasm.
Yeah.
So there's not no orgasmic stuff in the clear water.
No.
What I say?
No, I mean microorgasmic.
Oh.
I think that has a lot. I mean, you can get very scientific with this stuff, and I think that's got a lot to do with it. Why that bait's there.
So the water's got to be dirty to have organisms in it.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes the answer is yes.
I'll step away there. Daryl asked a question about open water versus marks or anything.
Don't take up for him, Daryl. Gosh, you're supposed to be on my side.
Well, he knows that you got stupid shit to ask, so I'm just kidding.
Hey, listen. You guys want to fish? Come get in the big money showdown on Lake Wylie, November 17th and 18th.
Well, we don't fish for dish rags, so anyways, but so Daryl, a lot of these places, you find the bait that are in these locations, and a lot of times, you don't mark the kings, but they're there. If there's a lot of bait, they'll be nearby. We did actually mark what I felt were kings, in the water column here and there, which told me to stick it out and stay there a little while longer because, you find a lone streak in about 25, 30 foot of water, that's not a traditional shark or anything else, generally kings.
So were you guys, in a tournament situation? I've fished tournaments with guys before, like tried to fish a trail with them, fished several tournaments with them, and it seems like nobody's really on the same page. So you, Trevor, Big John, and John, and John, Little John,
Big John, Little John.
yeah, like that. The little. Anyways, do you guys have chemistry out there? Is everyone just
pretty good
kind of on the
chemistry,
same page?
It's kind of tough because we pre-fished basically one day together, and we didn't get enough bites at all to get the groove down, I guess. But we did have good chemistry. I like to run the rods, so even though I run the boat, I have someone grab the wheel and say, hey, keep it in a straight course, and I'll run all the rigs out there. I'll put a bait on the hook and have someone send it way back and jump to the next rod, bait it up, that kind of thing. But
so you're not putting the rods out, but you're manning the rods.
Correct. I mean, I am putting them out and telling someone to also put it out.
I like one person putting the rods out, and at the very most, maybe one person puts one side of the boat out, and the other person puts the other side, something like that. But
I
like
100% agree with that. But like the first rod, I like to put all my rods out in order, meaning
I
one
do too.
rod particular goes way back, and
exactly.
So
Yes.
when I bait it up, I'll throw it out there and hand the rod to John and say, hey, let her rip, And so in the meantime, I'll grab the next rod, bait it up, start slipping it out. And I'm watching John, making sure it is indeed back far enough. And then from there, I hand the next rod, to let it keep on going out. And I grab the third rod and so on and so forth. Now, I had John man the prop wash because, you can't really screw that up. You see exactly what kind of thing, So,
Yeah.
So, with that said, yes, I agree. Have one guy kind of, I know where, if I set it out, I know about where it's supposed to be, that kind of stuff. So,
I had this one guy, man, that I fished a tournament with, and he had a rod out, and I wanted it out just a little bit farther. So I walked over and I grabbed it and I creeped some drag out, about 2 pulls of drag out. And he was like, "What are you doing, man? Why did you do that? I had it out, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Hey, sorry, bud. My OCD's kicked in. I mean, I understand the whole teamwork aspect of things, and I do want to be a team and everything, but that's me being a team is letting me do it. That's it."
Oh, I get 100%. Now, changing subject slightly, and John caught on video actually pre-fishing the day before. We actually got to an area where there was a pretty decent bite in the afternoon. It was like the last spot there, fun fishing basically, and caught a couple fish and. Changing baits out. Actually, I was about to stick out a downrigger, and you see the prop wash bait get nervous. You see it jumping. I'm like, and so I throw the bait in the water and did not even put it out but a second, and a dang king picked it up and a fish on my hands.
Say that.
And then he handed it to Trevor, and Trevor.
No. We got
Oh, okay.
That's one of the ones that we got, I think. But yeah, so to say it again, the day before the tournament, we're fun fishing. We're on a bite. We had 4 rods out, and I was about to put a downrigger out, and I noticed the prop wash bait getting nervous. You see the rod bouncing, the bait going crazy. So I put the bait on the hook on the 5th rod. I tossed it behind the boat and barely even engaged the reel, and the fish is on it in my hand. And we ended up getting it was a 16, 17-pound fish.
Hey, what's up, Jeff? Hey, Daryl said that he said, "Pete, I'm fishing a slime ball tournament against JR, and it will be hilarious. He thinks I can't catch a dang piece of crap that will eat a hot dog."
Dang.
I want something allocated, Daryl. The bourbon, Buffalo Trace, preferably. That'll do.
Daryl, I got my money on you. I do, because JR is so caught up in this dang cornhole shit that he don't even know how to cast a reel no more.
Hey, I love Daryl, but I believe I'd put my money on JR when it comes to catching a damn slime ball.
I've still been fishing. I just took my kayak off the truck today. I've been doing a lot of kayak fishing. I just haven't been filming anything. Don't think JR ain't fishing. JR's
playing cornhole.
I keep the iron sharp, brother.
Hey, Pete, when y'all were talking
bass
about, sorry, JR. When y'all talking about the way your screen lit up and it looked like spaghetti, Now it was at 160 foot.
Oh no, it was more stacked than that. I'm talking about like stacked from the bottom, about 20 foot off the bottom, maybe 15 foot off the bottom. But
Yeah, when
that
someone
was
says
bait.
spaghetti, they mean
Y'all was marking
a lot.
bait. Kingfish don't bunch up like that.
occasionally the small ones will.
Yeah, but you can
So,
tell the difference between
It's
bait
possible it
and
was
what these.
Spanish. It was possible it was amberjack also.
Probably,
There
probably
was something
Spanish
there.
mackerel.
Well,
How many water was
the
y'all in?
the one thing I noticed, and I think I have it on video as well, is these were long streaks. They just weren't intertwined like the spaghetti you typically see on striper.
that's
They were
Spanish.
long streaks
Spanish. That's
stacked.
Spanish.
Well, I mean, I saw Spanish that we were marking, and they were grouped up similar to crappie, and you get those crappy little small arches stacked
Yeah.
on top. But these were long marks, and either we were right up under them, and that's why I was picking up so well. But
That right there is what you want to see when you bottom fish and tell them, Junior.
Oh yeah.
If you're bottom fishing for amberjack, yep.
No, that wasn't amberjack, buddy. That was vermilion.
I don't know enough. I don't even know why I do this show. Did y'all wear
Beautiful
Costas?
love.
Scott said, did y'all wear Costas, pelagic shirts, and put your fish in a Yeti cooler?
No, threw the fish in the front of the fish box, and I was out in the boat naked. I might have had a hat on, but yeah.
hang on, Pete had on no shoes or sandals the first day, and I was like,
baby.
what? I was like, what are you? First of all, that's like my pet peeve. I don't go shoeless on a boat. Just seen too many accidents. I guess you still have all your toes, but especially with me dropping that fish. I was like, watch toes.
You definitely don't want to go shoeless while king fishing or wahoo fishing or any fish with teeth.
That was a ballsy move.
I saw a video where a wahoo sliced a guy's, I think it was his Achilles, or they had to bring out the helicopter and they had to airlift the guy. It was terrible. So what's the next tournament, guys? Pete, I know you got to be having a tournament coming up, whether it be crappie, striper, or whatever. What do you got coming up?
I got some crappie tournaments coming up in November. There's a crappie tournament I can't do this Saturday coming up, but I want to try to do one more king tournament at the end of this month. It's a possibility. We'll see.
Just a local or coffee can tournament?
It's another big one down the coast.
Another big one?
Yep.
Southport?
Yep. I want to say this one right here might be at a Little River. If Keith Wood's on here, he could tell me better, but I believe it's at Little River.
Now, what's the name of this one?
Was it Fall Brawl? No, the Got 'em on. I don't know, one of the two.
Fall Brawl.
Okay,
Fall
Brawl.
Brawl.
Okay. Shoot.
It's not as big as U.S. Open, but it's still
Hey,
pretty.
let's get in it and kick their ass. Wes.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Come on.
Man, I don't care about tournament fishing. They can have that shit, dude.
What's the entry fee, Pete?
It's a lot less. I'm gonna say $800 maybe.
$800,
give or take. But the best thing about this one is there's no check out. It's a lines in time. But if you got a fish to weigh in, you got to go all the way down to Little River.
$800.
Yeah, for all categories.
Oh well, we don't need to get in all the categories.
We don't, but I will not fish tournament without getting into the small boat division.
Pete, let me ask you a question. Do you think? There again, I don't fish tournaments. Don't care. I mean, I fish for people before on boats. I could give two shits about fishing a tournament. More or less, I do it to hang out with my friends.
Come fish with me, dude. I got the entry fee. It's only $250.
If you were gonna say you were gonna fish a tournament, and I don't know how many there are out there, but that was a pretty big kingfish we caught offshore about 2 months ago. Did bigger kingfish hang out there by the ledge?
They do, yeah, but time of year is everything because this time of year, traditionally, you won't catch real big kings offshore. They're all on the beach within, we'll say, 10 miles.
I was going to say, if that's the case, would you try to go hero or zero and run that far just to try to catch a bigger king?
No.
I would.
No.
I'm all about unconventional.
Long.
No, that's when we'd go out there and catch a big wahoo. We'd catch what we needed.
We'll bring a wahoo to the weigh in. Like what? This is a king.
After that motherfucker's been dead for a few minutes and he loses his stripes anyway, we might.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a king. Might get away with it.
Yep. Tell you what, though, on day one of the tournament, and Spivey's still on here, we saw a lot of cobia caught around us at Yopon Reef. A lot of cobia.
Daryl Barney wants to know something. When you fish a giant, me and my choice of teammate on High Rock. I'm not sure what that
Yeah,
means.
he needs to work on his
On his
typing
punctuation and his spelling.
Yeah. I don't know what are you saying, Daryl?
It's this redneck chat. I don't know.
Daryl don't know what he's saying.
I just pictured Daryl sitting there in his phone, hitting the microphone, doing voice texting, and it's just like,
Pete, will you fish that?
Yes, Daryl, I'll be glad to. And we'll bid like alcohol for a prize or something.
He was supposed to say crappy. I think
Crappy,
you nailed it,
giant,
John. I guarantee you
giant.
that's voice text.
You know, with all the people, well, I say all the people, but we've got enough people that watch this show. If everybody would do it, and we could just have a real fisherman tournament
We
somewhere.
can do it.
so
Y'all keep on
Now,
talking. man.
Daryl, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Nobody's
If
going
we
to get
do,
together and do it. Everybody's got to do this or do that. I got to work. My pussy hurts. My wife won't let me go. You know, I mean, it's just
you just described my life.
damn, John.
I already booked the house for next year's U.S. Open. So, we marked it down. John's in. Yeah.
Heck, I could bring my boat, man. If
John, you butt hurt Daryl.
you catch them off the
Daryl's
beach,
butt hurt.
man. I could
Let's
afford
do that.
I could afford to call Cito if my boat breaks down.
Cool.
I can see Daryl now. I don't voice text and fuck whoever said that.
You got to say it. You got to say it in Daryl's voice, though. You have to
And
get
now
real
he's
deep.
still checking it to make sure he don't fuck it up no more. Now he's hitting it again. I don't voice text and fuck whoever said that. That's it.
And fuck, comma, exclamation point, whoever said that, question mark, question
Do you
mark.
not look at what you're texting? You
I love
literally
you,
wrote, "Will you fish a giant me?" Choice.
Hey, Daryl, you want to get on here? I'm going to send you an invite. Hold on a minute.
Keith said that a John boat placed and only used 9 gallons.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's what's up right there. Now
Especially on Friday.
I got a 14-foot high tide. I'll get out there in that. Shoot.
Do it.
There's some small boats out there. I mean, that's what's crazy. You got a $2 million Freeman, and then you've got a $5,000 30-year-old center console with a 2-stroke Johnson on the back of it. And
You just described my boat.
I know, but they
Hey, JR, send Daryl an
They have-
invite. I can't.
the only thing is that $2 million boat can get from point A to point B in 5 seconds versus 2 minutes.
Whoever's-
Which,
Exactly.
I mean, that does make a difference
Well,
because
whoever
there was
said
a
I
morning
voiced
bite
text, I hope your wife's
Saturday
pregnant.
that we
It's not
missed.
yours.
Yeah.
No. Hey, JR, send Daryl an invite. I can't
Get
get him
Daryl
on
on here.
I don't know why I'm sending John another one. Here we go. Hang on.
Is it the right John?
Oh, yeah.
It was the right one this
That's
time.
what I'm
But
on for. Daryl Barney said, whoever said I voice text, I hope your wife's pregnant and it's not yours.
Damn. Got to love.
Yeah, well, she's sick, but probably not.
all right, I
Well-
sent you one, Daryl.
Daryl said he can't, I guess. I don't know. I think he's scared.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all got Daryl tore up. He's madder than fuck. He can't even voice text right. Y'all got him so fucked up. His phone don't even know what he's saying.
Well, earlier I posted a invitation to the show, and it was a picture of Pete's boat that photographer took, and then Daryl commented and said, "I keep seeing this picture everywhere. Did he win?" and so I'm like, I'm assuming he's being a smartass. So
he was just wondering if he won. He just
yeah, well,
thought he
I
won.
didn't know that. Well, I replied and I was like, "No, he didn't win. Did you win the PCB striper tournament out of East Tennessee or something smart ass like that?" And he's like, "I don't know what a PCB is, and I think you're used to dealing with smart asses, but I'm not being a smart ass." I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry, Daryl.
Daryl said he's fucking flamed and he's going to admit it.
Daryl, I'm
Then he-
sorry, man. I didn't mean to get you riled up.
he's not
joke.
mad. He's just
Then he
getting
posts a pic of him holding $2,500 and it's like, "I'll kick your ass in a catfish tournament." And I'm like, "Well, hey, bring it on, buddy. I'm not going to fish you for $2,500, but I'll fish you for a bottle of bourbon."
Did you count it? Was it 25?
I did a rough count, John. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I
9,
just
10, 11,
guesstimated it was 1,000.
I think it was about 2,500.
So
Yeah,
you guys were talking about
You
real
treat him
fishermen.
like you do Hovis.
Yeah. Well,
You're
you know
talking
what? Now that you've told me that you're not like Hovis, I'll stop treating you like Hovis. I thought you were one of them, Daryl. I thought you just been a smart ass. My
No,
bad.
there's
My
a
bad,
difference
buddy.
in Chris Hovis and Daryl Barney like night and day. Plus, Daryl's about 4 foot taller.
Y'all got to understand, though, Daryl's nothing but a little damn teddy bear.
That's all he is.
He's a little teddy bear.
Now, Pete and Chris Hovis, they see eye to eye on everything. Literally everything.
Daryl said, "JR, you treat me like Hovis." I do. Yeah.
So talking about a real fisherman tournament. So Pete, I sent Jeremy a message today about, and he doing away with the Old North State line siders. He's not doing it this year. So I sent him a message to see, what I could do to help out to possibly pick it up. But that would be a date that Saturday after Thanksgiving, basically the day after Black Friday.
Yeah.
And I actually talked to Tommy with the Striped Bass Challenge because I've been doing their website and helping him get some stuff ready for their tournament. And I had mentioned it to him, and he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, we can do another open tournament." So
Now, is Tommy the tournament director for the Striped Bass Challenge?
yeah, he's one of the brothers. Yep.
Cool.
Now
Yeah,
I know
I
what's
had-
his name. Mike was his name. Mike. I
Mike
think
Dillon.
Mike Dillon used to be the tournament director.
So he handed it off or sold it to Tommy. I can't think of Tommy's brother's name.
Well, when is the next SBC going to be?
It is December 1st and 2nd, I believe.
Really? Instead of
Santee.
January?
Yep.
Well, so this one is what they're calling the top 25 / open tournament.
Oh, okay.
So you can do the top 25 has their own. They don't have to pay an entry fee. They're in their own prize class. I think it's $4,000 winner take all. But they also have the option to join the open tournament, which is a guaranteed $5,000. And then whoever enters. So in theory, like Pete could double dip. He's in the top 25, and he could, enter the $250 tournament and potentially win $9,000.
So, how many of the tournaments did you have to fish to qualify for the top 20? Or is it just
point based? So
okay.
I think 1,000. Like I've actually finished, I think 27th, so I was out of it. But I know my score was like 970, and I think Pete was at 1040, and he was
40, 45, somewhere thereabouts. Yeah.
there's only like
Okay.
and I think 500 points or 510 points is the max you can get per tournament.
Hmm.
So essentially, you had to at least fish 3 because you would have had to win the first 2 to even get to 1,000 points.
Yeah. So there were 4 tournaments total, I think. The lowest was dropped, so we chose not to fish one of them, and so we only fished 3 tournaments, and I guess it worked out pretty good because we damn sure did not feel like driving to, was it Alabama or whatever that
Georgia.
tournament was down there.
Point
Yeah.
Lake.
Yep.
North Mountain. Smith Lake.
Smith Lake? That's Michael Walker's lake, ain't it?
Yeah. Or was it on Smith Lake, Pete?
No,
Was
No.
it Smith Lake in Alabama?
West Point, Georgia.
Georgia. Okay. Excuse me.
Yep. So they do Lake Hartwell in January. There's Lake Murray in February. March is Lake Cherokee. April is West Point Lake. Or the last 2 could be turned around. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Cherokee was the last.
I should know, but
Cherokee was April. Yeah.
and then they're doing an open tournament or the top 25 tournament at Santee in December, I believe, next year too.
So, John, are you local?
Greensboro.
Greensboro. Okay, so you're close to the Atkin chain.
Yep. I got
So
my in-laws have a place at High Rock, which is where I
High
keep the boat.
Rock. All right. Well, what's the
Fish
best striper
specialty.
lake on the Yadkin chain?
Baden.
Baden. I think Baden's probably better than the best striper lake on the Catawba chain. Would y'all agree, or would Watery be up there? Or
I would say Watery definitely is a better striper lake, hands down, for sure, as far as
Okay.
numbers, but not size.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we go ahead and we can share the PayPal link, and we'll go ahead and do $100 per person, and let's get us a little chain gang tournament, little real fisherman tournament up for either Baden or Watery.
Let's do Watery because I feel like that's a good midpoint for everyone.
Okay,
As
so
much
Lake
as I want
Watery.
to say, as much as I want to say Baden and not take all y'all's cash, just kidding about that. But to be fair, so that way people don't have to drive an extra 2.5 hours. Watery would be a little better midpoint.
Let's do it
Okay,
on
so
Hartwell.
so right now it's October 10th.
Do it on Hartwell.
I'm game for Baden. I'm out on Watery.
Are you down for Hartwell?
I could do Hartwell.
Hartwell, Pete. I mean, that's kind of a.
I mean, it's a
for me.
drive. I was trying to keep. So I sent Jeremy a message because I mean they already have 30, 40 people that do the tournament every year, and try to just keep that up, but also bring the Striped Bass Challenge guys in. I mean, they were interested in saying, hey, we'll take it over and do it as an open tournament. I mean, they've got the sponsors. They may not have, the guaranteed $5,000 unless we can find a sponsor that wants to donate it for guaranteed. But, and they've got 3,600 people that follow their page. So
I don't know about sponsors. I could reach out to some companies. I definitely
I think
don't
the biggest
know.
thing with the Jeremy tournament was he had his main sponsor. It was a benefits tournament, so a portion went to the hospice care of, what was it, Davidson County, I think it is. So the main sponsor, I think, was Maynard Edwards. Does that sound right? I believe, as far as the plaques and that kind of stuff. And then there's a couple other little guys here and there that sponsor small businesses in the Lexington area. But I think Maynard was the biggest sponsor due to the fact that the money was going to a special place to his heart, I guess, there in the hospice center.
Wouldn't y'all be closer to Hartwell than you are Watery?
No.
Nope.
No, we're only I'm
Really?
only like an hour from Watery.
Well, Watery's down by Columbia, isn't it?
No,
Just above Columbia a little bit, about an hour.
JR, what you talking about? No, I was in prison there for 4 years. I know where
no,
Watery is.
it's halfway, Wes. Watery's
Yeah, I was in
halfway
Watery
between.
River Correctional for 4 years.
Watery's halfway between here and Columbia, bro. It's another.
south of Columbia.
No,
No, it's north.
Columbia's about an hour and 50 minutes for me, and Watery I can be there in an hour.
Well, goddamn, I was in the wrong penitentiary, man.
Less than an hour.
Damn. They
Well,
lied to you. They
it
lied
is.
to you, man.
It's 3 hours and 45 minutes to Hartwell, and Lake Murray is 3.5 for me.
Yep.
And Watery would be closer than that
Yep.
for you. So, all right. So, what are we agreeing on here? Watery or Baden?
Baden Lake.
Or
I'm-
John
I'm
said
not-
he's out on Watery, so Baden.
Well, I just don't have any experience here, so I'm
But see,
definitely
the thing about Baden is I don't know if we could get like Scott Perry and some of those South Carolina guys to fish Baden.
John, I'll be honest with you, in all seriousness, Lake Watery, Stevie Wonder could catch striper on Watery.
Yeah, Watery's small.
Not leave within sight of the boat ramp.
You can look at it on.
dead
No.
nuts serious. I'm dead serious.
I'm just picturing myself as that boat that didn't catch the bait because someone was like, "Hey, where's the bait at?" And we can't find the bait, and all you heard was Stevie Wonder could find bait today. Helen Keller could find bait today.
You buy it. You just
You're
buy, you buy
gonna
your
be
bait.
that guy in the Sea Pro throwing the damn net all fucking day trying
This
to
is a
catch
striper tournament, not a catfish tournament. You don't have to catch your bait.
Read this.
Striper tournament, you just buy it. The state's Health and Natural Resource Department responding to the national reports of dog getting sick or dying. Okay. Water quality.
What reputable website is that from?
Yeah.
Is that like dailymail.co.uk?
No, goddamn, I don't know. It says the SCDNR. I don't know how reputable that is.
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of reputable.
I don't know.
But That's kind of
Don't
reputable.
get in there and fish that infested motherfucker.
Don't nobody care about eating these fish.
I don't want to touch them if it's killing dogs. No,
Y'all
Daryl
just
wants you to read
scared.
a
Y'all just
comment.
don't want to fish.
I'm
John is like, hey, I'm out on this one and this one and this one, and
tell
Pete's
you what,
like, it's got to be this one, and then Wes is like, well, dogs is killing dogs. You guys are just scared. It sounds like you're scared.
Daryl Barney's acting scared in the comment section. My God.
Well, I know, like, if
I'm 2 hours and 40 minutes from Wateree, so it must be where y'all live in North Carolina versus where I live in South
It's going to
Carolina.
be 4 hours from Baden. Baden
he's
from
not.
my house is 25 minutes.
So
Daryl's all for
here-
Baden.
Here's my reasoning for wanting to do baiting, especially if I'm going to help with the tournament. Our house is 20 minutes from it, or at the lake,
Okay,
so I could
all
be
right.
there at 5 a.m. and not have to wake up at 3 a.m. or get a hotel. And
Okay, well, Daryl and John wanted to be Baden, so I
No,
go.
no, no.
I'm going with them, Baden. I raised my hand.
and
for Baden.
Pete, you have the advantage there. It's a freaking artificial lake. Why wouldn't you say, sure, I'll take your money?
No, hey, so I think you kind of got this confused because we're talking about two separate tournaments. We're talking about that tournament, but JR is talking about a
I'm talking about a
chain
coffee
game
can between
tournament.
us.
Coffee
We'll
can
call it the coffee
tournament.
can. I mean,
Yeah.
I maybe we don't keep the old North State linesiders, and I mean Jeremy hadn't messaged me back, so I don't know.
I can give you
Hey,
Jerry's
hey,
phone
wait,
number.
wait a minute. I got an idea. Let's do it like Jeff Bill did his tournament. You can fish whatever lake you want to.
No.
Nah.
And what, CPR?
That means some joker will go to Smith Mountain Lake and someone will go to whatever Georgia. Now,
Well, if you want to drive that far, hey.
All right, so Baden Lake. It's October 10th. Let's go ahead and set a date, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and deposit my money. It's $100. We're gonna do $100 per person or per boat, I guess. So what's the max anglers on the boat? Let's go
I'd
ahead
say
and
4. Keep it
4.
how it is in most tournaments.
Okay, so max of 4 16 and older.
Two fish aggregate.
If anybody under 16, no limit, but 16 and over, no more than 4. 2 fish limit. Do they have to be alive?
we'll say live.
Yes, 10% for dead fish
10% for dead fish. Okay. So $100
per
buy-in
fish.
per fish. Okay. $100 buy-in. Anything else?
$50 big fish.
Do a big fish side pot.
Yep.
So $100 buy-in and $50 big fish side pot.
Yep.
Okay.
Or you can do, not to get this complicated, but what you could do even when you're worried about this whole live release thing, you could do 2 fish weigh-in, dead or alive, but you can do a side pot for biggest live release as well.
Oh gosh, you're getting
Too technical.
You're getting
But
crazy.
that's how Jeremy's always done it, just the FYI. But yeah.
I
Yes,
lost.
no,
I missed you on the second part. You could do
it-
what now? Dead or alive?
It's happening, Scott, because I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm gonna
So-
post the PayPal link tomorrow.
So
And
Jeremy
everybody's
has
gonna go ahead and
always
pay.
put a it's 2 fish, dead or alive, doesn't matter. But there is a optional side pot live release. That's what he's always done for all his tournaments. Because I've won 2 big screen TVs and a lot of cash for live release, biggest overall on his tournaments the last several years. But yeah, so he does this a little different. But if you want to keep it simple, 2 fish live release across the board, that's that.
All right, so October the 14th, which is only 4 days, we're not going to do that. So the next peak moon in October is going to be the 20. No, wait a minute, that's first quarter. The next full moon will be on the 28th, and that's on a Saturday. So do you want to have the tournament on the day of a full moon?
This tournament has traditionally always been the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so I feel like that's the best day to keep it.
So you want to move it that far forward?
Hey, Scott Perry says a bottle of nasty ass tin cup says it don't happen. Damn.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it doesn't happen, what we're going to do is we're not refunding money. We're going to donate the money to a charity if it doesn't happen. How about that?
So I've already talked to again. I talked to Tommy this morning about it, and he said let him know the date and time, and he said they would try to be there. They could post it on their Facebook, and we could really draw all their people. Now it is a week before the Santee, so I don't know.
Now Saturday, November 25th, is 96% full. You got the day of a full is on the 27th, which is a Monday. So that'll be 2 days leading up to a full. So fishing should be good.
It is Baden Lake he's talking about too, so don't let it fool you. It's
So
almost like
set a date. Set a date, Pete.
the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Saturday after Thanksgiving.
That's correct.
Okay, so that would be Thanksgiving's what? November the 28th?
No, this year's 24th, I think. 23rd. I don't know. What is it?
23rd.
It's the 23rd, so we'll do it the 25th, and we'll do
25th, okay.
Circle Drive ramp.
Okay, let me write
That
that
ramp
down.
can hold 50 boats, 60 boats.
Circle Drive
November
or the other
25th.
one. Circle Drive may have bass turn. So Jeremy has always used whippoorwill. The reason why is because wildlife does not require a permit for that ramp. Hence is why he always used that one. The other one is required by wildlife since it's a wildlife run ramp to get that couple, whatever, $10, $20 permit. Plus you got bass boats and bass tournaments to deal with there as well.
Scott Perry, are you in on this? Daryl Barney said he's got a side pot. He beat your ass.
It's got to be watching football.
Oh, shit.
Perry said he's watching football.
Perry, no one cares about Michigan.
So
Come
what's
on.
going to be? Are y'all doing a hybrid tournament or a catfish tournament?
A striper hybrid. I mean, you can weigh a hybrid in.
Striper slash
I mean, you're going to
slash
catch
hybrid.
hybrids on Baden anyways, or small striper.
Okay, so you guys are talking about doing this tournament within another tournament. Is it this guy Jeremy?
He's not having it.
Are you going to get him to be the director for this tournament? Is that what you're talking
Well,
about?
no, I sent him a message this morning, and I just said, hey, Pete said you were looking for someone to do something with the ONS LS tournament. Let me know when you have a chance to discuss. And he just said, will do.
Okay. So is it
So-
okay if I send a link for the entry fees, or do we pay him the entry fees?
Well, let's wait to hear from him just in case.
Because I don't want to do it to where we pay the entry fee when we show up, because I want people's money. Because what's going to happen is people are going to say they're going to get in it, and then they're not going to show up. So I want those people's money. If the people that aren't going to show up, I want their money. So let's go ahead and do
I mean, you're going to
let's
have
go
people that do that anyways. I mean,
Well, as far as we're concerned, we need to go ahead and have our money. Me, you, Pete, Scott, Daryl, whoever else wants to get in it.
yeah, that's
Let's
fine.
go ahead and we'll set a link up. We'll go ahead and get that money taken care of. That way we know that we're good. And if
All right, I'll give you my Venmo, and everybody pay me.
that's fine. Yeah, that
Yeah.
works. Oh, I trust you.
You know, I am off also Thanksgiving all the way to that Saturday, so I am definitely in.
No, but
Scott
seriously,
said, JR, this isn't happening. Scrap
That's gonna
that
happen.
idea.
seriously though, I would like to, if we can get the Striped Bass Challenge guys up there too and have a big tournament. I mean, if
So
you guys
y'all
could
gonna
do
do
a
a
side
tournament?
pot,
Y'all gonna do a tournament with the SBC?
I mean, I'm fine with doing it with other people. That's fine, or the SBC guys.
Oh, I
That's
thought y'all was
fine.
gonna
It
do
doesn't
it
matter.
just with y'all.
more the merrier.
I mean, I'm either way. I can do just us. I mean, that's fun too.
We can
Just
have
a
our own
little.
side pot. We can have our own side $100.
We could.
Yeah.
Or a ball of liquor, right?
Yeah, or a bottle of liquor. I like the competition. I don't get to fish as much as you guys, and so for me,
Shit, I ain't fished but 3 times this year offshore.
you're freaking lying.
I've been offshore twice this year. Twice.
Bullshit.
Twice.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
All right, guys. So it's been an hour and a half. I think I'm ready to call it.
I'm not.
I just
I'm
cracked
not-
another beer.
Let's pop this one open.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Samuel,
Oktoberfest.
or no, this is Sierra Nevada. I thought it was Sam Adams.
I've been drinking Sierra Nevada a lot lately.
Why
like their
y'all
little-
drinking in Nashville? What happened to fucking Budweiser and Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Well, Bud
that's-
Light is
You
training
know
fluid.
what Bud Light is. I think it's
Yeah. Hey, what did they say in the radio in the tournament? What Bud Light was? Damn. Tranny fluid. Tranny
That,
fluid. Right? Yeah.
training.
That radio was pretty funny.
It was hilarious.
You deleted your comment too.
No, they did.
Oh,
They did.
I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
happy birthday, JB.
Happy birthday, JB.
I'm gonna put my money on. I'm gonna put my money on JR on this one.
On the Baden.
Hey, he's my video guy. I gotta stand behind him. He does good.
Oh, Bolo's in a
What is
hot
that?
streak with Baden. Just
Stay
throw it out
Wesley
there.
Rose. Daryl, what do you mean stay?
He doesn't want you to leave him.
No, I'm not gonna leave you, buddy.
Hold his hand.
Stay Wesley Rose. Send.
Exclamation point. Send.
Exclamation.
There's no punctuation in there.
Daryl, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Daryl,
Daryl.
come on. Daryl, come on here. We want to chat. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, teddy bear. Come on. Get on here.
Daryl's one of them. If you call him at 4:00 in the morning, he'd get up out of the bed to help you.
I believe it. 100%. I don't know Daryl Barney real well, but I know that if I need something at the ramp or something, he'll be there.
Copper, what are you doing? Hey, Pete, does your dog, does Riggs, anytime you go to your kitchen, does he follow you and right under you every time? If I go to my kitchen, that dog's right there under me.
It depends. He knows that there's a line that he does not pass, but he will like peek around the corner to see what I'm doing in the pantry.
Shit, Copper ain't got no line. His line's right up my ass.
Yep.
Hold on a minute. He said, Daryl Barney said, you need me, Peter Malick. Hit me up. Send. I'm gonna leave it
Give
alone.
a teddy bear a hard time. Come on. Barney, get on here. Come on. Hey Daryl, meant to ask you what the hell's going on with your buddy old Trolling Roland. I ain't heard much from him in a while. Someone told me a little something about him that he's going through some issues or some fight with someone, some typical trailer trash shit. I hate to say it, but it was what's going on with him?
Nothing is going on.
Exclamation point.
Uh,
Rough crowd.
always has something. Daryl said you're the only competition he would have.
There's a couple guys out there that will give them, all of us run for the money, but it's like anything else, man. You have good days and you have bad days. So, who knows? I like Baden a lot, but Baden will humble you. Like, I've had guy trips where I'm like, all right, we're going to fucking smash them today, and we troll all day and don't catch but like 8 white bass. That's it.
North Carolina is shit for freshwater fishing. Period.
I agree with you.
Well, last tournament at Baden, you caught the winning fish at the very end of the day, right?
Last, I'd say 45 minutes, maybe. Yeah.
Yep. And that's all we could catch was freaking white bass.
Thing is, though, I was on those fish and just kept on knocking them in the head. Just kept on plowing through them, until I finally got something to fucking bite.
There he is.
Nope, that's JR.
I thought JR was getting off though.
He went and got him something to drink.
That's it. Come on, teddy bear, get on here. We want to talk to you.
Hey Pete, have you tried that rum?
I have not yet. I actually debated about doing it. I'm like, nah, I'll wait for a better occasion.
You're drinking rum now, though.
I was, but I've moved to beer.
What kind of beer are you drinking?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Blowing Rock. You like that mountain stuff, huh?
I do.
That's a hazy pale ale. I've
It
been on
is.
those lately. I've been drinking those. I think it's Sierra Nevada. They sell the 12-pack with the variety. It's got the hazy IPA and one other IPA and a couple other beers. They're good. I sent you an invite, Daryl.
Always.
Is that
I might have a link ready for him here. Let's see.
is that a skunk beer?
JR said, hey,
No.
Daryl said, send him a link, JR.
I sent him one.
Yep.
Yep. And Pete also did.
Yep.
So.
Just now.
Why can't I send somebody one?
So November, Circle Drive, Baden, and
No, we can't do Circle Drive.
you can't do Circle Drive. Okay. So what landing would it be?
Whippoorwill.
Whippoorwill. It's maybe like 5-8 minutes further. It's not that bad.
Okay. So are we getting that guy? Is he going to be the TD and have other anglers present, or is it just going to be us?
Still planning. Calm down.
Okay.
Well, it'll
Y'all
for sure
gotta
be
go
us.
first.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it. We can agree that we're gonna go do it, right?
And the reason that
I'm
you don't
definitely
want
in. I'm definitely in. So you say the word, I'm there that day. I'm in.
All right, so we got
If- if-
four. Me,
if we
you,
were-
JR, Daryl.
If we were going to do a tournament like just us, like I said, I don't fish tournaments, but for us, I would do it if it was a live release and we could do it on Russell.
God, you done changed again. You said Hartwell first.
No, I'm just saying. If I was going to fish it, I'd do
Why?
Russell.
Why does it have to be your backyard? Why can't you
Well,
just
it don't have to
drive
be my backyard.
drive another 45 minutes
I
and
really
go
don't
somewhere
wanna
else?
fish the
Yeah,
tournament.
come on, your ass will drive dang 5.5 hours of Little River, but you won't drive the damn Baden Lake.
Why
Come
don't
on,
let's just
man.
make it Mountain Island, so I only have to drive 25 minutes up the road.
Come on, JR.
I mean, I'm having to drive no matter where we go, unless you guys do it on the Catawba. So, I mean, I don't care about how good the fishery is. I just want to kick y'all's ass. I don't care if I if I
I'm
kick
going
y'all's
fishing,
ass with
I
a
care very much how good the fishery is.
I don't care if I kick y'all's ass with a 2-pounder or a 20-pounder. Doesn't makes no never mind to me. Just
There's 2 tournaments I fished by myself. This is one of them.
well, where you want it to be, DB? I know you want it to be on the Yak, and you're all for Baden, I'm sure.
I don't care. JR, I'm going to tell you this. I will kick your ass on Norman if you want to.
No. You do care because you said earlier that you would buy the plaques if it was on Baden. You'd buy the plaques.
Or whatever tournament.
You said,
I
"Hey,
will
bring
kick
it to
your
my
ass
home
on
lake,
either
and I'll
one.
buy the plaques because that's going to increase my chances because I need a handicap." That's what I
I
heard.
love you, JR, but you can't beat me on either lake. You couldn't outfish me on
Well,
your
that's-
best fucking
that's-
day.
Well, hey, on a tournament.
That's why we're having a
anybody can
tournament.
do it on tournament day.
That's why we're having a tournament. So it's going to do away with all this. All this is gone.
Aaron, I'm gonna tell you this. JR struggled to catch a damn hybrid on Lake Norman. You got his ass on Baden all day long,
I need
baby.
a
All
cough
day.
button. Why does it sound like you're popping popcorn, Daryl? What are you doing?
So what?
Your audio's horrendous. What is all that?
Terrible.
What is all that crackling? Hold your phone still.
Is that better?
I think it's internet.
Is that better?
That's not really that better. That's horrible.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Get off your Wi-Fi or something. Maybe get off your Wi-Fi and just rely on your data.
Turn your text to talk off.
Where is Daryl? Is he must be down
He's
in
in
the
the shop,
boondocks.
garage, shed. I don't know.
Yeah, he done froze up. All right, Daryl's no longer with us.
But yes, we will for sure, at least us 4 that have agreed to do it. And ideally, I'd like to get the SBC involved. Just so that they got a big following. I mean, get maybe.
I
20.
mean, we're going to get our asses kicked when we get other people involved.
Yeah, but we have a side pop going with us.
We're gonna have a chance of winning it if it's just us.
JR, just know that Baden is my stomping ground. So
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to consider myself getting my ass
I
kicked.
don't care, man. I mean, you might. Are you a stick though? Because I mean, if you if you do what John's talking about, you're going to have at least a couple sticks that are going to show up.
Why did our lakes thrive so good at striper at one time and North Carolina's never did? Did they just not really?
Mostly, in my opinion, it's because it's because the stocking programs.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys
So
stock a
is
couple
my
million.
audio better or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
It's I give it a 6 out of 10.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Before you were rocking about a 1 out of 10.
Exclamation point.
Gotcha.
Daryl said, "Whoever said I text to talk, I hope their wife's pregnant. That ain't their baby."
That's wrong.
Damn.
That's wrong.
I don't even know that dude, but it was funny, all right?
Well, John, this is Daryl Barney. Daryl Barney is the John Longest, aka that's his screen name. He's actually on Pornhub.
Porn star. Yeah.
You can catch him on Pornhub or some of them other porn sites, whatever they are.
Longest John.
Whatever they are. Come on, Wes.
Hey, I guarantee you can get on any porn site and type in John Longest, and you're gonna have hundreds of hits.
Damn.
Probably.
John Longest
So,
and J.R. Cochran.
So
John Longest versus J.R.
whatever they
Cochran.
call me,
Okay.
concrete cowboy, but I grew up, I've been fishing the yakking down here in Advance since I was like 5 years old at Idle's Dam. So
I think Daryl's had a couple to drink tonight.
I had
Yeah,
a
so-
few to drink. That's the reason
So
I
we
wanted to
got
join.
so we got
Yeah.
Daryl. We got 2 sticks of the Yatkin on tonight. Daryl and Pete, self-proclaimed sticks of Baden. So they're going to kick our ass, man. Why are we even having this tournament?
Hey, look, if you really want to make it hard, just have it on High Rock.
We can do High Rock. I'll be honest with you. If there
We
is
did
a
High
time
Rock
of year,
one time, right, Pete?
what's
Me
that?
and Pete did High Rock together.
We did. So the only other time I did High Rock, I won it. Not the SBC one, but the other time they had a High Rock, I won it with like 20 pounds, I think it was.
Pete, the only bullshit you fish is the bullshit you can win. You fish fucking like 8 people tournaments.
Hey, whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
Hey, that's what I
don't be
fish,
mad about
too.
my crappy tournaments.
Those
Mike.
are the funnest. Those are the funnest
Listen,
ones.
Pete, the question I asked you earlier, Pete, my partner is Denny Potts. Will you fish against me?
I have no idea who Danny Potts is. The Potts name sounds familiar, so I guess
Probably
yeah,
another
pretty
stick.
it was crappy fishing.
Probably a real stick, not a self-proclaimed stick.
He is the fucking greatest stick that's ever fished High Rock.
Yeah, yeah. I'll set boundaries. You can't go in that damn river, but yeah.
Fuck you. We're going
Boundaries.
to the river.
No, there are no boundaries.
Oh, there's boundaries. Oh yeah, High Rock.
So
No
why can't
lie.
you fish the river? Can you not get to the river on a regular boat, or you have to have like a
it's-
skiff?
You gotta
It's
know where you're
debatable.
going.
But you can go way up in that river, way in the dang little cuts and such, and there's some big fish up there.
Pete will tell you this: when they had the striped bass challenge there, I'm not saying I would have won it, but all the fish was up the river. They cut it off at like a
85 bridge.
at the 85 bridge. There's never been a day that I couldn't catch 2 hybrids.
Sounds like
They-
John's probably a stick.
Mm.
He's finishing
We're
Daryl's
local, man. We're
sentences
local.
for him.
Let DB talk before dang that damn cell phone battery dies. But go ahead.
But what I'm saying was, there's never been a day that I couldn't have went to Idle's Dam and caught 2 hybrids to win that tournament that day, and then they cut it all off. My plan was to put it as close as I could and go up the river, and then they cut it off. It sucked, and all the fish was up the river. Pete knows that.
Yep. There were a few fish down lake. There were some fish down lake, no doubt about it, man. But that thing, the cold front,
cold front.
snow, and all that just shut them down completely the day before.
All except for the one area that who was it that had it, and he caught 2. There's
Yeah.
100. See, I don't even think the striped
They
bass
caught
challenge would
2
come back
fish
there.
on chicken liver. My buddy said they had chicken livers and camel soup cans. I know.
So,
they
John,
got
are you
one
going to
time.
fish the HSBC on Norman this year? Well, not this year, but this coming year, January.
Maybe.
Daryl, you should come up and fish with us.
You know, I met that Russell Brown at like a couple tournaments, and he is a really, really nice guy.
He is. That's Trevor's dad, the guy that fished the King tournament with John and Pete. That's his dad.
Yep.
He is a super, super nice guy.
He is. Yeah, doesn't get any. He's the salt of the earth. But they have the hybrid
last year or something. The only reason I didn't fish it.
They have the hybrid striped bass challenge on Lake Norman every year, and it continues to grow. It's a well ran tournament. You ought to come get in it with us.
I will.
They haven't set a date yet. We tried to pull a date out of Trevor last week, and he said that they're still discussing because there's a lot of people complaining because the bite is so terrible in January. They're trying to get it moved up to February or March, so the bite would be a little better. But I kind of like the bite being terrible.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it does. It kind of separates.
It
takes
gives
luck out
the
of it.
people that really know the lake a better shot.
Yeah. People that put in the work. Because if you take a guy, no matter what, like for example, like Baden, I've never fished Baden. I fished High Rock, but
why would anybody want to?
I've never fished Baden, and yet I'm willing to give money, to put up money to go fish against you guys, knowing that y'all are sticks on Baden.
But man, why do y'all spend all that money up there to go fishing in shithole lakes? I don't get it.
Because it's not about the size of the
20
fish,
minutes
Wes.
on the
It is
road
about the
versus
size of-
4
it's not about the
hours in a
size of the fish,
hotel.
Jay. All you talk about is trophy catfish and these big blue catfish and big flathead. But now all of a sudden the size don't matter.
Let me
Okay,
explain this
Wes.
to you, Wes. Let me explain this
I'm
to you.
missing
Are you
something.
listen, okay?
I'm missing
When it
something.
comes to catfish, as far as me, I'm a trophy catfisherman. I don't care. I hate catfish. I hate it. I hate them as a bycatch. I can't stand catching them. But I'm a trophy catfisherman. I love the big ones. That's all I want to fish for is the big ones. When it comes to striper fishing, I love striper of all sizes. I don't discriminate when it comes to striper fishing.
Oh, okay.
And there's wet dish rags in every lake. Let's not.
Damn
Wes, I
right.
would give you
There are no.
Wes, day in a week I wouldn't give you for you to go catch a bigger fish in Hartwell than I can fish in catching Baden. Not a damn week of the year.
Hartwell's going to have bigger fish than
You've had
Baden.
too many beers.
Hartwell has better fish. Hartwell has bigger fish than Baden, but
It
That
does.
ain't saying a lot.
It's
No,
not saying a lot.
That's what I
Not
mean.
now.
You have to fish a damn month to catch a damn 25-pounder in Hartwell. You know that.
Well, I don't know that there's a 25-pounder in Baden. I know you said you caught a 22.
That was an anomaly, and
The biggest
that was
striper I've ever caught.
that was
7 or 8 pounds.
many moons ago, John.
I'm gonna
No,
tell you guys
no,
this.
It was
Listen,
not many
listen,
moons
listen
ago.
to me.
Every
Listen
old
to me.
timer told me that was the biggest fish they'd seen since
It wasn't many. What year was it, Daryl?
2 years ago. I got pictures. I'll send you.
Only 2 years ago?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. All right. I stand corrected.
So hear me out on this. There is a very good population on Baden Lake right now of striper that are between 10 and 14 pounds. They're there. I promise you. They're there.
And my buddy Chris, he caught he may be watching, but he caught a 17 or 18 back in the spring of this year.
Yep.
And when he sent me that, I was like, damn, where are you at? Smith Mountain Lake? And he was like, nope, Baden.
Wow.
Yep.
So that's considered a 17-pound striper is considered a big striper up there.
It is. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
It
okay.
is.
Oh,
Damn sure is.
I mean, yeah, when they only stock 10,000 striped bass compared to
Yeah.
Wes said, "Let's have this tournament on the Cumberland, damn it."
Wes, let me tell you this. Back in May, I think it was, or June, early May, there was a tournament out there, maybe 25 boats. I caught one fucking fish that was 8 3/4 pounds and won that fucking tournament. That's how bad the fishing is up there.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to pull two giant live baits or set up shop and anchor or tie to a tree and throw out a bunch of big cut bait. It's not that easy. You got to put the work
I
in.
can't catch nothing like that in Baden.
Fuck
Hell
no.
no.
That's a Russell fish.
Hey, now
that probably come
could-
on cut
we
bait.
could
JR,
keep
turn me
it,
back up. I can't hear.
We
We
could
got-
keep it neutral and go to Bugs Island.
We can hear you
catch
fine,
nothing on
Daryl.
Baden Lake.
All right, Wes, quit trying to impress everyone with your damn fish.
He's photo
I've seen that fish 100 times on the show.
Not that fish you hadn't.
No, we could keep it neutral and go to Bugs Island.
Oh God, Bugs Island. You're talking. Yeah, that's quite a drive.
It's a long haul.
I mean, I'm
2.5
down, man.
hours.
I'm down. If you guys are, that's fine with me.
I'm down for Baden. I really, I think they have a pretty decent following. The 30, 40 boats that come out each year. So if we can get those guys.
Yeah.
Screw those guys. Let's just let it be us.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could have a side pot.
The only reason, John, the only reason you don't want it to just be us is because you can only fish so much, and you want it to be a
I like the
big
whole
tournament.
event.
Well, this is an event. It's a small
I mean, we
event.
could just go do that this Sunday.
Okay. All right. Well, this Sunday then. Where are we going, by God? Let's get it done.
I can't do it Sunday.
High Rock? You can't do it this Sunday? Pete?
Nope.
Can't do the 20.
What about Saturday?
The 28th. Or the 29th.
28th or 29th?
Actually, that's if you're gonna do fall brawl, Pete, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Nope. Couldn't do that.
Hey, John, is that kind of y'all's average in High Rock as far as hybrid?
Not, I wouldn't say High Rock, but definitely Baden, Lake Norman.
My buddy caught his brother. He was on his boat, caught a 20. I think it was 20 even on Norman. Obviously, it was a lookout shoals fish, but I thought that was cool. Caught it right up there at the train trestle.
Cool.
Just 2 years ago. All right, guys. Well, hey, it's been a good show, and hopefully we can.
Well, good night, JR. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Up soon. Daryl keeps on trying. It's just not working.
Too far away from that Wi-Fi connection.
Is that what it is?
Well, probably, yeah.
I wonder what he's had to drink tonight.
Ooh. Well,
Hey, Scott had a good idea. Let's just have it in East Tennessee. Everybody knows Tennessee, don't they?
nope.
Come on. Yeah, you do. You don't know Loudon and Melton Hill? You don't know East
No.
Tennessee?
Never
Really?
been there.
Oh, wow.
Never been there.
What about Cherokee?
There's one time I've been there.
John?
I'd be down with Cherokee,
Yeah.
but no, I've never been to Loudon or Melton Hill Dam or wherever.
JR, you know where I'd be if I fished Loudon.
Loudon? Where would
Concrete.
you be?
Concrete.
No, hell no. I'm not. No, you don't never see me on no concrete, brother.
Yeah.
I have
Never
no
video
idea.
you've ever seen
where
me
you'd
on
be.
concrete.
Actually, there's one lake in Bristol that I want to fish.
Don't say that. Please don't say that lake on here because I don't want no fucking body up there. I know exactly where you're talking about.
Boone Lake.
No. Starts with an F, don't it, John?
Well, this guy told me, he said, I bought $800 worth of trout and I caught 300 striper in 2 days. And he said the smallest one was 15 pounds.
Yeah, don't say that name on here, please.
And when he told me that, I was like, well, I can go buy $200 in trout and catch a 100 striper and be happy.
Yeah.
You know where he's talking about, don't you, Junior?
Yeah.
The first time I fished it, I got 2 60-pound leaders popped off back to back.
No, I do tell you another trip I want to take, and Pete said that you were the guy to go with, Chesapeake.
Yeah, we're going this year.
Absolutely. That's it doesn't get much better than that, bud.
We need to set a date. That's what we can do. We can do a real fisherman live stream on the Chesapeake with Wes Rose.
Pete, do you want to go?
I'll do it. Yep.
JR?
Absolutely.
So us four?
I don't turn down trophy striper trips.
I've never done the Chesapeake, and I want to get a 50.
I
Well,
believe we can make that happen.
Wes is your man.
Well, my biggest is like 23 and a half, 24 pounds. So
Well, Wes would love nothing more
reality,
than
I
to
just
have.
need a 30 plus to.
Wes would love nothing more than to have you and Pete on
You
his
wanna
boat,
pop
bossing
50 pounds
y'all
here?
around.
Damn.
No,
I'm bossing
I-
around his
I-
old man boat.
I just get excited when we start fishing on that.
Yeah.
That
John,
boy will
last
be
time
he'll
me
be
and
slinging
Terrell was
fish
up there,
grippers in no time.
We couldn't
what?
fish that morning. We got out. We couldn't even get out. So we had to go north. So we went up to Morley's Wharf and put in. But we went to Hardy's, got something to eat, hung out for about an hour, went and put in up north. We got out there and fished for about 2 hours.
I had to drag that man out of Hardee's, by the way.
I told
That
JR, I said,
Wes,
man, I said,
he
listen,
would have sat there and talked all day.
well, I'm just trying to wait for the weather to clear. I don't like getting my fucking teeth knocked out for a fish. But anyway, so we get out there and I told JR, I said, look, I said, I've marked some bait right here. I said, we're going to put them out right here. So we pulled for about 30 minutes, just got all the rods out. And JR said, go ahead and put that last one out. I said, well, fuck it. Might as well, hell, we up here. And I was putting that last rod out and a striper hit it wide. The planer board, it almost jerked it out of my hand. So I set the hook and handed it to JR. I said, here, fish on, fish on. So we caught that fish and 6 more within 3 hours. And I had every fucking boat in the chat. Can we get on the radio, fish on, fish on? There was 8 boats around us in less than a fucking hour.
So let me ask you this, because Pete said, those bigger fish, they go for one run and then you can just reel them in.
That's pretty much, yeah.
One, sometimes two, though. Sometimes two.
Well, and it depends on how cold the water is. Those fish up there really don't get turned on until that water gets about 45, 46 degrees. If you can catch them there, they're a little bit more playful. When it gets down to 42 degrees, they get a little lethargic. And they're going to give you that good run. But, yeah, most part, they're almost like a wet rag catfish.
I mean, it's very tidal. And when you're fighting those fish, you're continuing to troll. You're fighting against the tide, the current. You don't want it to make another run. You'll be wore out by the time you get to fishing. I promise. So a lot of times when they see the boat, they'll make another run. So a lot of times it's 2 runs. But
most of the saltwater stripers, I've caught a ton of the schoolies, 10, 12 pounds right there in the ICW. But those fish, I swear they fight harder than a 20-pound landlocked striper. I swear they do.
Yeah,
they hit when they hit, and they just take off towards the middle of the channel, and they don't quit.
I think it's got to do with
not stress. There's no stress on those fish up there whatsoever.
It's the current. I mean, if you look at a river striper versus a reservoir striper, the river striper is going to fight a lot harder. And when saltwater, a lot of current in saltwater, a lot of current in the ocean, and so yeah, you're fighting. Those fish they're much more streamlined. They're not as fat. Like a 50-pound ocean striper is going to be longer than a 50-pound reservoir striper because the reservoir stripers just aren't out burning a bunch of calories, in current all the time like a saltwater fish.
Yeah, we can make it happen if y'all want to. I'll go ahead and get with that guy. And we usually go, John, the 2nd week of December, or maybe the 3rd week. I used to do 2 times a year. I'd go fish, go for a week, 2nd week of December, and I'd go back around the 1st of the year. A lot of times, if you go up there for 5 days, if you get to fish 2, you're lucky. If you get to fish 3, you're blessed. In the wintertime, it's that bay's just totally different. The weather, the wind, I don't know. It's like in the wintertime up there, the wind just blows a lot harder. It blows more than it does in the summer for some reason. Mm-hmm. But last year before last, I went up there and stayed 7 days and fished 5. So, it's just everything's weather-based.
Cold air is more dense. So with denser air, even a 10-mile-an-hour wind, it sinks a little more, and so therefore it chops up the seas a lot more. So
is that what it is?
Pretty much, yeah. Colder air is going to chop up the seas more than warmer air. That's your answer as to why it's always rough.
Now, y'all sure y'all want to do this? Because honestly, I was thinking about not going this year, just going up there fishing on somebody else's boat.
Yeah.
But if y'all really want to go, I'll take my boat.
That's why I was asking whose boat. I mean, I'm down to take mine. I mean, I've got a 24, but
is it a deep V? You got a deep V boat?
It's I think it's 24-degree rise, but it's in between. I mean, I take it 50, 60 miles out.
Oh yeah, that'd be fine.
I mean,
we
it's
took
perfect for that
fishing.
So.
Hey, I took my Sea Arc up there 2 years ago.
Yeah,
fished 5 days out of 7.
Surprisingly well.
Yeah, no, I mean it handles slop. I mean, 2 to 3s slop, but anything over, and I've fished in 4 to 5s in it, and it's miserable.
You're not going to be out
I'm
there.
not going to fish in that period. I don't care what, unless I've got a damn Freeman.
Yep.
The only thing I like about my
wet
boat
ass.
is it's got a cabin. If it comes a rain, storm, or whatever, or it just gets real cold, I'll get up in that fucking cabin in a minute.
I got curtains and a little buddy heater.
Hey,
it won't hold the heat in, but you put your hands up there.
John, listen. The best thing I ever did for winter fishing, and I don't know if you can get them or not. I've still got both of mine. I bought a little Ryobi torpedo heater.
Mm-hmm.
It works off battery, and you put the screw in propane. That's JR. What's good about it? You can tip it, you can bump it, the wind can blow it, and it will not go out. A little buddy heater, if you bump it or the wind blows, it goes out. You cannot blow that Ryobi heater. It's a torpedo heater, but it's a mini one. And you talking about keeping you warm? That son of a bitch is a lifesaver. Mm-hmm. And it's on every time you put your. In fact, I burnt one of my overalls up 2 years ago. Got too close to it, forgot it was on.
We burned Scott Perry's curtains on his boat. What kind of heater was that?
He did that with a buddy heater.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can't beat that Ryobi torpedo heater. It's self-igniting, and it will not go out. You can't blow it out. The wind can't blow it out.
Yeah, I'd be down to make that trip. I mean, I take my boat, you can take yours, it doesn't matter.
Then we just bring those fish back to Hartwell and hold them up.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you ain't taking
better go to Baden.
Look, there's a
Baden, hold them up. There you go.
You better not get caught with one of them fish on your boat unless you got a commercial license up there.
What's your buddy's name that caught he caught a 40 this year on Hartwell?
Oh, Chris Brown?
Chris, yeah.
I seen Chris today. He called me, and I was coming back from Pottersville, and he said he was working down there at 153 and 85, so I stopped down there and talked to him for a few minutes.
And Hartwell Outdoor Center, they got a 47 up there on the wall.
I caught that. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
I think it was caught in the late 90s, something like that.
Yeah, Joey Bagel's dad caught that.
The guy was saying that it's nothing like it used to be. But.
No, not at all.
You guys ever heard of the Bass Shack in Shelby?
I've heard of it, yes.
Well, not anymore, but I had pictures of me on the wall in there holding striper. Oregon Inlet striper.
The 52-pound, what I caught in Tennessee, my first real big freshwater striper. Hell, it's on the wall down at my local tackle shop.
Wes took me in there, and he was like look at that big striper on the wall. And I was like, yeah, that's big. He said, yeah, I caught that. I was like, no, you didn't. And sure enough, I looked real close, and it had Wes Rose on it.
I was about to say, they probably say, here comes Wes, here comes the story.
Oh, yeah. Ready to fucking talk your ear off.
No, they love me down there. In fact, I took Al out. How long ago was that trip, JR? 4 months ago, maybe?
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, I took Al, the owner of the shop. He went out with us about 4 months ago.
Yeah, he got out there to that blue water. He had never been out there.
Yeah, that was funny as shit.
He was out there, and I was watching him, and he blew his nose. And then he looked at it, and he looked like amazed. He was like, and I was looking at him, and then he looked at me. He's like, and he said, "Wow, even my boogers are vivid out here, man." Because everything is so vivid because the blue water, you know.
Yeah, I didn't realize really just how blue that water was until you started doing some of those underwater videos and releasing like the amberjack and some of those snapper.
Yeah,
That shit
yeah,
was crazy how.
yeah. We got to expound on. We got to get some more underwater footage out there. We got to.
Oh, look at this. I gotta show you this now. This was. Where is this? Oh, won't let me go down. I've got. Oh, here it is. Where's my fucking underwater video? Look at how clear this freaking thing is.
Mm.
So we had ran into this was the Big Rock this year. We ran into a school of tuna. You can see them on top of the water, and I was trying to stick my GoPro down and see it. The water, man, how blue it is. You don't realize it. You can see, depending on what the weather looks like, you can actually
All that
see.
sargassum out there.
And those fish can see as good as better than that camera can in that water, can't they?
Yep.
You can see I've got another video. It's not on my GoPro Cloud because I took it a few years back, but I was at an artificial reef and I was fishing AR 315, which is like 3 miles off Atlantic Beach, and it's 46 feet there. I dropped the GoPro down. I almost got it stuck on the friggin' battleship or whatever the hell's in a steamboat, but you could see the bottom of the boat looking up, like my GoPro had landed like that.
From
And you could
46
see-
feet.
Yeah, and you could see a king mackerel swim by. You could see amberjack.
See, that's what I was wondering is how deep, I wonder, can you
I
see?
got the video somewhere.
That's insane.
Yeah, it
I would like to put a big old chunk of cut bait out there and have a GoPro in line with it, and so you could see like the big shark come up and eat it. That would be sweet.
I can almost understand now. Maybe we're even out there. If you're trolling, maybe where fluorocarbon might come in handy. But I just can't see fluorocarbon scaring the fish off if he's hungry and sees a piece of bait. I don't know, especially in salt water, because it's like everything out there is hungry. It's almost like if you find fish out there, something's gonna bite. I mean,
Fish are a lot like cats and dogs. If you ever notice how even a hungry dog that's about to starve to death, it'll be very wary of any food that you give it. It has to inspect it first before it eats it. And I think fish are like that. Cats are like that too. Like they'll come running up and they'll inspect it before they actually, take that leap of faith and eat it. And I think
So
fish are a
here's-
lot like that.
I actually don't have the footage, but I took some screen caps from it. Like this. Photos. Window, there it is.
Oh wow, that's
So
at
this-
40 something foot deep.
Yeah, this is 46 foot. See the
That's
prop.
the prop.
Yep.
Oh my god, the prop and the rudder right there.
Look, here's a barracuda.
Is that a cuda? Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the bait fish.
That's crazy.
Ringtails. It's crazy.
Wow.
Hey,
man,
no, what do
that's
you call
awesome.
it? My mind just went blank. Not monofilament, but
Fluorocarbon?
fluorocarbon. Is what's the best knot to tie with that? A Palomar knot?
Palomar.
Even on
Whatever
fluorocarbon?
knot you trust.
Palomar.
What are you tying?
Well, I meant if you're just tying to a hook.
Like a hook?
Yeah, if you're tying to a hook.
I mean,
Well,
I
it
tie,
depends,
if you're
but
tied to a
Palomar.
lure.
I tie a
Snell.
fisherman's knot 90% of the time.
What if you're tying to
time
a
I'll-
lure?
Do I?
What if
a
you're
lure?
tying to a lure?
Lure, I'll do a Palomar knot.
And what's the
Whatever knot you trust. Plain and simple.
Well, I like the loop on the Palomar knot on a lure. Like, because you can easily flip it over and cinch it tight.
So changing subjects slightly, John. Thoughts on barbecue bacon wrapped king?
So, first of all, it's awesome. When I made it, the fish almost had like a lemon taste.
Okay.
and I meant to ask you. So I got the adobo seasoning. I seasoned them before and then dipped them in the barbecue sauce. But then I was thinking about, I was like, am I washing the adobo seasoning off by putting it on? And then I cut up 2 pieces of, or sliced jalapeno, then wrapped it in bacon, threw it on the. I actually smoked it.
Uh-huh.
I smoked it for 10 minutes on like 175, and then I cranked it up to 400, and I cooked it about 6-7 minutes aside till the bacon was crisp,
Mhm.
and it almost had like a lemon taste. And when I say lemon, just like that fish lemon taste, not necessarily lemon, but really good. Had my in-laws over for dinner, and my
Did they
mother-in-law.
approve?
She's not a huge fish eater, but she always tries whatever, bring flounder, striped bass, whatever. She'll try it. She was like, "That's really good." And then my father-in-law had the meat, I had it in a bag ready to be frozen, and he was like, "That meat's darker." I was like, "Yeah, that's the king. This one's the Spanish." I was like, "This one's the greasier one with bacon." He was like, "Well, anything you wrap in bacon's gonna taste good."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it very good. I honestly can't say that I've ever had king. Maybe I've tried it. I've always been told my family it's just like it's greasy. People don't eat king. They don't catch them. That's why I've never really caught them.
Yeah.
Because usually my family they go to meat fish.
Mm-hmm.
So they were big into flounder, trout, wahoo, dolphin,
Right. Grouper, all the good eating fish.
flounder,
Yeah.
striped bass. Cut the bloodline out.
Did the boss approve of it?
She liked it, and she doesn't eat fish.
Well, there you go. Those that
She also
talk
doesn't
shit
eat bacon.
about,
So she took the best part off. I was like, you can't take the bacon off.
see, those that talk shit about King, you ain't cooked it right.
Yep.
Oh boy, what the fuck was that?
Scared the shit out of me.
Someone Facebook stalking me there.
It was like Mike is muted, and I was like, "What the?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
I thought the FCC was doing a damn test on Facebook.
We got all these videos on here. I like to click on them every once in a while.
Damn.
Guys, hey, good night. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime.
Right. Thank
John,
God. All right. It's been a good show. Thanks
I'll
for
get
coming
with
by.
you. I'll get with you here in a couple of weeks. I'll call the house. You remember the house I got last year, JR?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that house again. Make sure it'll be available. We just need to get some dates. I usually go to second week of December, and there again, it's depending on the weather. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was gonna go second week in December, and they had a fucking nor'easter come up through there, and it's fucking snowing and around me, and it was just fucking miserable. So I canceled that one. But
Yeah, we can just watch the weather. I've always heard the guys go after Christmas,
yeah,
New Year's.
All right, Pete, you never sign us out, so you go ahead and sign us out, buddy.
All right. It's been real. It's been fun. Good night. Until next go.
you're supposed to
Good
say,
night.
but it ain't been real fun.
Good night.
Yeah.
See you next week on Real Fisherman.
Fun, but it's also been real fun. How's that?
That's right.
Good night.
Peace. Good night.
Thank you, John. See
Next
ya.
time.